The situation is simple. Win one of the next 3 games, and the Saugerties Stallions will secure the 2 seed of the PGCBL playoffs, and with that, a first-round bye and a semifinal home game. Would be the first home game in Saugerties Stallions history, and they have a chance to get that coveted win tonight as they've made the trip about 2.5 hours northwest to Oneonta, New York, to take on the Oneonta Outlaws in their second-to-last meeting of the season. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. John Gross alongside Jake Starr here at historic Damashki Fields. And Jake, again, simple situation. You win tonight, and you get that number 2 seed.
Yeah, John, you look at these final 3 games of the season. You play Oneonta twice, Glens Falls tomorrow night. Obviously, you want to win tonight, but when you consider all the things here, these are 2 teams, 3 games that the Stallions have dominated against this season. So when you look solely on paper, there's no reason why the Stallions shouldn't be the 2nd seed getting that first-round bye, but at the same time, that's why you play the games. Got to go out there tonight, play with that same intensity that they had last night, and they'll be in good shape. But obviously, there's still a lot to be determined, and they have to play like this is a playoff game.
And speaking of last night, the Stallions, a mercy rule win at Glens Falls, 18-6, the final of that game. Highlighted by, in my eyes, a couple things. The pitching of Brendan Hines out of the bullpen, 15 stolen bases, a franchise record. And Jake, probably the most complete all-around performance by the Stallions this year.
Yeah, it was really nice to see Hines perform really well, and then the 15 stolen bases, 15 for 15 that is. That's one of those things where you see something as a team, you got to capitalize, take those extra bases, and that's what the Stallions are going to have to do the rest of this way. So tonight, got to play with the intensity of a playoff game, even though you're playing an Oneonta team that you've not lost to this year. They're only 12-21, but have to act like this is a playoff game and act like you're playing a really good team.
Saugerties 26-11. Again, 1 win away from clinching that 2 seed. The Outlaws 12-21. Saugerties 5-0 in the season against Oneonta as the righty Marcus Cashman comes set on the mound. He faces David Shackelford, and the first pitch is in at the knees, 0-1. And we are underway. Shackelford, a .286 hitter, was 2 for 3 with a pair of RBI last night against Glens Falls. Had 3 of the Stallions' 15 stolen bases. I'll give you Cashman's numbers in a second. As the 0-1 drops into the zone, lofted into right center field. Making his way to his right is Keaton Mark, and the right fielder hauls it in for the first out.
Marcus Cashman, this is his 6th appearance, 5th game started overall. He's 0-2 with a 5.75 ERA. Has gone 20 1/3 innings, 19 hits given up, 17 walks, 17 strikeouts. So about a 1-to-1 ratio right there. Something the Stallions, if they can get base runners via the walk, they have to take advantage of that tonight.
Brings up the 2-hitter Noah Berghammer. A .339 hitter, has recorded a hit in 3 of his last 4 outings. As Cashman comes home and a fastball misses down and out, 1-0. Stallions batting order as follows. David Shackelford led off. He plays in center field. Noah Berghammer up now, plays at second base. Kip Fugers in the 3 spot at first. Kane Verduzco, the DH, hits cleanup. Andrew Wilhite back with the team, hitting 5th in right field. Caden Kendall 6th, the extra hitter, as the 1-0 home hits on the outside corner, 1-1. Wilhite hits 5th in right. Kendall hits 6th, the EH. The 7-hitter Max Morris gets the start behind the plate. Albert Jennings in left field bats 8th. Nick Iverson 9th at third base, and Jarrett Brown 10th at shortstop. 1-1 count, 1 away, scoreless top of the first. Cashman comes through the delivery and drops into the inside corner, 1-2.
Berghammer, not the biggest fan of that pitch right there. We got a pretty good vantage point behind home plate tonight, John. We're pretty much right at field level, maybe 45 feet behind where the catcher and umpire are standing. So pretty good view of balls and strikes tonight.
A 1-2 on Berghammer. As Cashman looks home to his catcher, Yuzuki Okamura, and he K's up Berghammer. Fastball touches the outside corner, 2 outs.
Definitely a bit of a wider zone tonight, something that pitchers are going to like. If you're Zach Byron, take note of that and be ready to take advantage on it throughout the night. But Berghammer got a curveball in the inner half, didn't look necessarily like a strike, then got a fastball on the outside that he
So with 2 outs, Kip Fugers comes to the plate, takes a ball. Futures, a .333 hitter, did not play last night against Glens Falls. Got a well-earned day off. His first day off in 12 games. Had played the last 12 with the Stallions. As the 1-0 lifted back foul, and the count to even 1-1. One count from the righty Cashman to the righty Fugers with 2 outs. Popped into shallow right center field. In comes Coloma. Under it makes, no, it's in out of his glove. An E8. He had all the time in the world to get there and could not squeeze it.
Yeah, John, that's one of those right there that Coloma just got very nonchalant with it, didn't catch it above his head, kind of let the ball come down towards his waist a little bit, tried to forehand that one, a little bit of a basket catch right there, and just came in and out of his glove.
So the inning continues for Saugerties after the drop fly ball. Brings up Cade Verduzco, who's hitting .378 on the season. Had a monster game last night, 3 for 4. First pitch runs on the inside corner, 0-1. Had 3 for 3, 4 stolen bases, scored 5 runs, and drove home a pair. An all-around performance for Verduzco yesterday. Cashman readies in the 0-1. He'll throw back to first. Weiss makes the catch, but no tag applied.
First base coach Ronnie Kelder ducking there as the throw was a little high, but Weiss does a nice job of keeping that one in front.
Cashman looks home. Now comes Seth. Kicks and deals on the 0-1. Breaking ball upstairs. And that evens the count 1-1. Beautiful night. We've had about a week or so of just phenomenal baseball weather.
Something that we needed. It was much deserved
Yes.
after the first half of the month.
Cashman looks down. Now fires on the 1-1. Verduzco slaps it into left. And a base knock keeps this inning going. So after the costly error in center by Keone Coloma, the Stallions have runners in first and second. And Andrew Wilhite, back in the Stallions uniform, is out of town for the last few games. First game since the 21st.
And really, anything that happens throughout the rest of this inning is really just stuff that shouldn't happen. This inning should have been over a couple batters ago, but now Fugers obviously reached on the error. Verduzco fouled out with a hit. See if Wilhite can take advantage here. We said they have to take advantage when they're giving free opportunities.
Ready on lefty. Wilhite, the .283 hitter, watches the first pitch of fastball high and outside. So this was an inning that Oneonta seemed to have a 1-2-3 inning in the fields, but it was dropped by Coloma in center. The Stallions now at first and second as a train rumbles by. The 1-0 home, outside 2-0.
Only thing we hope to be rumbling tonight are the ponies.
Yes. See what you did there, Jake?
The ponies are rumbling.
2-0 count to the lefty Wilhite. Cashman checks back on second, now fires home, and again misses up. 3-0, and a walk would load the bases. Quite the turn of events. And you have a guy in Caden Kendall on deck who has been really successful at the plate last couple of games. So a 3-0 count from Cashman to Wilhite, with first and second for the Stallions, scoreless top one. And he misses ball 4, fastball high. And with 2 outs and the base is now loaded, Caden Kendall, who is recognized by the league for his 3 for 3 RBI performance last night, steps to the plate.
Yeah, Caden Kendall had himself a strong night last night. Went deep against Glens Falls up at East Field. And now Kendall with an opportunity here if bases juice. As we said, all of this shouldn't be happening if you're Oneonta. This should have been out of this inning a couple batters ago, but now bases are loaded all of a sudden.
Kendall was just a triple shy of the cycle in his phenomenal game last night. First offering home, hit deep to right field. Back goes Mark, just shy of the wall, towards the foul line, makes the catch. And the Stallions do load the bases, but can't bring anyone home. So no runs on 1 hit and 3 left on base. We get to the bottom of the first, scoreless from Oneonta on the Stallions Broadcast Network. Zach Byron gets the start, his final game with the Stallions, as the guy with the lowest ERA on this roster will face Paul Tamero to lead off this inning. Jake, Byron's put up some really good numbers on this 2021 campaign.
This is 7th and final start with the Stallions, 4-0 with 2.60. Earned run average, 27 and 2/3 innings pitched, 22 hits surrendered, 25 strikeouts to only 4 walks.
First pitch from the lefty is a bunt attempt. That's popped foul, third base side. So Tamero trying to lay down and bunt his single. It's now an 0-1 count.
Iverson was far back at third. If he was expecting bunt and he was up towards the grass, then I think it's a different story. I think he makes that play, but he was playing behind the bag. Now he's up towards the cutout.
Tamero, a .333 hitter, has recorded at least one hit in all 5 games against the Stallions. The dangerous leadoff batter out of Oswego State. 0-1 from the lefty to the righty. Breaks just outside, a 1-1. Byron making his 3rd appearance against the Outlaws. His first 2 has pitched a combined 8 innings, given up 5 earned runs, 11 hits, 8 strikeouts, and no walks. The 1-1 as the lefty kicks and deals, misses just up on a fastball, 2-1. And Jake, you mentioned it earlier, just from our vantage point, we could really see the movement, and at least on these fastballs, the velocity from this field level view.
No, which I enjoy. It's a different perspective as opposed to where we are at Cantine Field or a traditional up behind home plate press box view.
2-1, Byron delivers home, yanked foul, third base side. And that levels the count, 2-2 in the field for the Stallions. Zach Byron on the mound. He's pitching to Max Morris, Nick Iverson at third, Jared Brown shortstop, Noah Berghammer at second, Kip Futures at first base, left to right of the outfield, Jennings, Shackelford, and Wilhite. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Byron shakes off 1 pitch. Now comes set of the belt. Comes through the delivery, kicks and deals, fastball, tails outside, counts now full.
Just rushed the delivery a little bit too much there for Byron. Didn't allow his arm to come, his shoulder and rest of his body to clear before coming through on that pitch. Hence why he missed it arm side.
A full count of the leadoff batter, Tamero. Byron readies. The pitch home is way up and way outside. And a leadoff walk drawn by Paul Tamero.
Yeah, same thing there from Byron. Just kind of rushed the delivery. Didn't allow the rest of his body, his front side, to clear before bringing his arms through, hence missing arm side.
Brings up Carson Swank, the infielder out of Yale. Hitting .267 of this season. Quick guy on the bases, 4 stolen bags. The righty awaits the first offering from Byron and takes out of the inside corner, 0-1. The Stallions with a win tonight, or a win in tonight or the next 2 games, clinch the 2 seed, get a first round bye, get a home semifinal game at Cantine. As the 0-1 is popped back just over our heads.
Make a play.
And it bounces out of the stadium.
One of my favorite things about being here is just all the kids always chasing after the foul ball, and it's always the same thing. It bounces in the concourse, and then it always goes over the fence. And
Jake, we're going to catch a ball today. I'm telling you.
we need something straight up in the air.
0-2 delivery from Byron. This is just up and in, 1-2.
To credit to Byron there, knowing that the umpire is kind of expanding inside of the zone, trying to drop a curveball in there.
Still ahead 1-2. Tamero leads off at first. The lefty Byron looks him back and slides a pitch too high, 2-2.
Struggling with that curveball a bit tonight, really missing it arm side and up a bunch.
Scoreless bottom of the first. Tamero leads off at first. Byron takes his time. Now readies on the 2-2 on Carson Swank. Fastball up and in, counts now full. So back-to-back full counts for Zach Byron.
Not ideal to start this game.
I'll check over to first. Tamero stays in the bag, a swinging strike 3, our first minutes in Valley Federal Credit Union strikeout. And there's one down to the first.
Yeah, that was a bit up. Climbed the ladder there on Swank. Swank, you know, looks good to him. Those balls around shoulder height, letter height, they can be hard to lay off, and Swank had issues kind of holding up on that one.
1 on, 1 down for Riley Hall. The 3-hitter has recorded A base knock in his last 2 appearances, hitting .244 in the season. Lefty-lefty duel, and again, pitch misses up and out arm side.
It's becoming a theme early so far through about 12 pitches so far for Zach Byron.
1-0 count from the lefty. Fires home fastball upstairs, 2-0. He has been one of, if not the best starting pitchers on this team. A 4-0 record, 2.60 ERA. Guy who's walked now just 5 batters in the season to 26 strikeouts.
Already surrendered 1 walk tonight and already has 1 strikeout. Just really struggling with his command early.
2-0 offering. Again, misses high now, ball 3.
This is uncharacteristic for Byron. 3 straight 3-ball counts to start this ball game off.
Toss the ball on his left hand. Now joins it with his mitt, fires home, and the 3-0 hits just at the top of the zone for a strike. And Riley Hall not too happy about it. Still a favorable count for the lefty. 3-1 with 1 away, scoreless bottom of the first. Tamaro inches off at first. Pitch home from Byron, swung through, and the count's now full. So 3 batters, 3 full counts. We've seen 1 walk and a strikeout.
That's where you can try to get a fastball here for a little bit of run away from the bat of the lefty Hall. Try to get him to ground to a double play here.
3rd full count of the inning. Byron takes a deep breath. The pitch home is lifted back to the netting in front of us, and the count stays put.
Yeah, that fastball's been going up a lot. It's really been tempting to these Oneonta hitters.
Count remains full with 1 away, scoreless bottom of the first. Tamaro dances off first base after reaching on a leadoff walk. The payoff pitch from the lefty Zach Byron is upstairs, and his 2nd walk of the inning puts runners in 1st and 2nd with 1 down.
So tonight Byron already has half the amount of walks that he had coming into the night. 4 coming into the night, 2 tonight. And Max Moore's out there probably just telling him to settle down, slow himself down. Now, as we said, it is his last start with Saugerties, so I'm not sure if maybe he's just trying to press, trying to leave on a good note, but has to pitch the way he's pitched all year, and he'll have no issues.
Brings up Ryan Weiss on a 3-game hitting streak. 1 for 3 in his last 3 in all 3 of last 3 games. And he takes the first pitch upstairs from Byron, hitting .356 of the season. Bottom of the first, we are scoreless. Byron taps his glove. Now fires on the 1-0. Launched to right field. It is tailing foul. Will Height's going to give chase to it. And he makes the catch. Both runners are going to tag. The throw on to second is not in time. So a fly out in foul territory in right does allow a pair of runners to advance, but the Stallions get that 2nd out.
That's a smart job right there by both runners, being heads up, knowing to tag there, because Will Height caught that ball, taking him away from the play towards that right field corner, and pretty much didn't have any play to get it to second, especially to get it to third.
Byron trying to keep the Outlaws off the scoreboard as the lefty Keaton Mark steps in, the Oneonta native. First offering, skied to left center fields. Jennings under it, and he makes the catch. So we head to the top of the 2nd. No runs coming across, no hits, and 2 left on base. Through 1, we are scoreless from Oneonta, New York. This is Saugerties Stallions baseball on the Stallions Broadcast Network. As we head to the top of the second, Saugerties Stallions baseball is brought to you by 5-Star Awards and Tees, Top Custom Team Gear Awards. Benson Steel, the Stallions stolen base sponsor. They put stuff up you can't knock down. Bob Garrick Septic, honest, dependable, reliable. If you need it pumped out, call Bob. BP's Carpentry and Maintenance. Delvecchia and Kraft Injury Lawyers, the Stallions hit by pitch sponsor. If you've been hit, call Delvecchia and Kraft Injury Attorneys. And Dallas Hot Weeders, bringing the hot sauce out of the bullpen. Max Morris leads off this top of the second for the Stallions. A win away from clinching the 2 seed, and in doing so, a first-round bye in a home semifinal playoff game. First offering to the 368 hitter. The righty Cashman is fanned on a changeup, 0-1.
Max Morris, we were talking pregame, John. 19 at-bats this season, 9 runs driven in.
Yeah, has
driving in a run in almost half of his at-bats.
Which is remarkable. Great production, especially for a guy to come in this late in the summer, as he watches a fastball at the knees 0-2. But to produce the way he has, you mentioned the RBIs, he's recorded at least 1 RBI in 6 of his 7 games. Has a hit in 5 of 7 as well. But he's behind 0-2 on Marcus Cashman, who's looked good out there so far, as Morris pushes the ball out to right, tailing foul, and it'll drop. Count stays 0-2. Morris, Jennings, and Iverson, the 3 due up for the Stallions, 7-8-9.
Cashman's done a pretty good job working with his command tonight. And what he's done a really good job of is working the corners. Nothing's really been out over the plate too much for these Stallions hitters.
0-2, Cashman comes through the windup. Chop foul, first base side.
It's another one right there. You know, might be a little bit off the plate, but you have to respect it if you're Morris and just try to fight it off, because when you're in a groove and you're hitting those spots, the umpire is more likely to give you a ball. You know, if it hits the catcher's mitt where he's set up, even if it's a bit off the plate, you're more likely to get that call.
Morris trying to fight off another 0-2 offering. The pitch from the righty Cashman, breaking ball, is smashed foul, third base side. And again, the count stays 0-2.
That one a bit inside, hung up on the zone. If that one was a bit more out over the plate, that's a pitch Morris could have probably done some damage on.
Temperatures in the mid-70s. Great night for baseball in upstate New York at a scenic and historic Tabashki Fields. The 0-2 on the ground, left side of the infield. A slow roller towards third. Swank charges. His throw to Weiss is just in time for the first out.
Nice play there by Swank, playing that slow roller. But I said this multiple times last time we were here, too. I think this is my favorite backdrop in all the stadiums that we've been to so far this season, John.
I'd agree. It is scenic, and it kind of reminds me of Mohawk Valley too. They have a mountain range in the background, but this is great. Feels like we're really in a valley, just in the footsteps of some mountains, especially when the weather's like this. Can't be beat. Brings up Albert Jennings with 1 out. The lefty watches the first pitch of the knees. Fastball, strike 1. Jennings hitting .211 of the season. Had picked things up at an impressive middle part of the season, but just 1 hit over his last 4 games. Trying to get back to those previous ways as we march towards the postseason. 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1. Cashman taps, kick, steals, 1-1, slice to left center field, and that drops in for a single. Albert Jennings gets his day started with a base knock, the second hit of the night for the Stallions.
Not the hardest hit ball in the world off the bat of Jennings, a little bit in on the hands of the lefty, but just does enough to punch that into the shallow center field for a hit. And I say this a lot, and I'll say it again now. You know, sometimes in baseball, it's not about how hard you hit it, it's more about where you hit it, and that was one of those cases right there.
Absolutely. He's found the open space, and now he's on base. Brings up Nick Iverson, a 164 hitter, has really picked things up at the plate. A hit in 3 of his last 4 games. Jennings now on first base. First offering home with 1 down. Breaking ball on the ground foul, third base side. Last night, every single time the Stallions had a runner on first base, they attempted a steal. That was 15 times, and they were successful all 15 times. I don't think we'll see that quite as much tonight, but I would not be shocked if Adam Cray is aggressive once again.
Something that Stallions have become a lot more of during the season is aggressive, and that's something, as we said, big towards playoff time. Just getting those bases, getting those 90s is going to be so important when you have to manufacture runs.
And now Jennings takes off. Pitch down and out. Throw from Okamura is not in time. A Benson steal by Albert Jennings. Benson steal. They put stuff up you can't knock down. And as we say it,
it's a third stolen base of the season for Albert Jennings. Now 3 for 3. Has not went a ton. Obviously, has not been on base a ton either, but nice jump by him there.
count even up one apiece, one away. Jennings now in scoring position. Scoreless top 2. Stallions trying to take the lead and move closer to that first round bye. Iverson is going to step out and call time. Was 1 for 3 with a pair of RBI and a triple last night in the Stallions' 18-6 victory over Glens Falls. The 1-1, Iverson grounds it third base side, fielded by Swank. He'll flip to first for the second out.
Couple nice plays this inning by Carson Swank. Does a nice job knowing the situation, looks Jennings back to second, knows how much time he has with a runner and Iverson running, and able to throw Iverson out at first.
So with 2 outs and a runner on second, Jared Brown digs in. 0 for 3 last night, although he did have a stolen base after being hit by a pitch. 157 hitter trying to plate Jennings from second, who singled and stole a bag. It's a righty-righty duel. Cashman comes set, glances back to Jennings, taking a sizable lead up at second. First pitch spins on the outside corner, 0-1.
Big spot here for Brown. Has driven in 5 so far this season. Has 6 sitting out there for him on second base, and Jennings.
Lights are on here at Demashki Field, brought to you by Richards Electric. When the lights go out, call Richards. 0-1 deal from Cashman, runs inside, 1-1. Stallions' final time in Oneonta this season. These two teams had 4 games rained out, so the Stallions, by the end of the season, will play Oneonta just 7 times out of a scheduled 11 meetings. 1-1 misses low, blocked by Okamura.
And if the Stallions play their remaining 2 games after tonight, tomorrow at Glens Falls, Thursday at home against Oneonta, they'll have played 40 of the 48 scheduled games coming into the summer.
2-1 on Jared Brown, and that runs towards his helmet. He ducks away and takes ball 3.
Very calm for a guy who just almost got hit in the head.
I always marvel at that, how a lot of guys who almost get nailed by a fastball in the head just shake it off. I'd be terrified.
Yeah, big out here for Cashman with the top of the lineup due up next.
And Brown's going to make him think about this. He'll step out, squeeze the pine tar, shake his bat out, rest it over his shoulder. Jennings on second. The 3-1 with 2 outs in a scoreless game is pop foul right field side and into the Stallions dugout, or bullpen I should say.
Now just 1 pitch away is Cashman from getting out of this inning.
Count now full in Jared Brown. With 2 down, we are scoreless, top of the second. Cashman readies. And the righty winds and fires, misses low, ball 4. So we flip from bottom to top. First and second for Saugerties after the full count walk drawn by Jared Brown.
Good at bat by Jared Brown, got up in the count. And then Cashman came back to make it 3-2. Now you got the top of the lineup up. Got Shackelford at the plate, someone who's gotten consistently better throughout the season. 2 for 3 last night at Glens Falls. But chance here to drive in a couple of runs.
David Shackelford 0 for 1. As he said, had a really good performance against Glens Falls last night. First offering to the righty. This is just a bit up, 1-0. It's impressive to see him and Stevenson and Brendan Hines last night. These are 3 guys who just finished their high school careers, have not played any college baseball, but there's been considerable improvement from all 3 of them throughout the summer.
Got to give a lot of credit to Hines, too. Struggled his first couple of outings, but looked really good last night.
1-0 to Shackelford, misses down, 2-0. And out of everything that happened last night, you have the franchise record, 15 stolen bases, a mercy rule win. Perhaps that 2 2/3 innings from Brendan Hines was the most impressive. Just given his youth, given some of the struggles he had, He looked like a completely different pitcher last night.
It'll be so important as we head towards the playoffs to have another arm that Doobie can rely on.
2-0, swung through 2-1. And that's certainly the big question. Did the Stallions have enough in this pitching staff, whether it's the starting staff, the bullpen? And that's also a big reason why getting this first round bye would be very helpful. You'd have to play one less playoff game and get to save a couple of arms.
And if you win tonight, the next 2 games don't matter for playoff positioning, so you can also preserve some of your arms as well.
2-1, Shackelford sends it in the air to shallow left center. In comes Coloma, and this time makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So once again, the Stallions capped off the scoreboard as we head to the bottom of the 2nd. No runs coming across on 1 hit with 2 left on base. Scoreless through 2 on the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network.
I love this setup.
Back here at Demashki Fields, we are scoreless as we head to the bottom of the 2nd, and let's send things down. Well, we are field side, but to somebody even closer to the field, our sideline reporter tonight, Shannon Bonowit.
Thank you, John. With Kip Fugers back in the lineup and Noah Berghammer back to a territory where he is much more familiar at second base, the lineup for the defense tonight for the Ponies looks much more familiar, and Andrew Wilhite is back in town for the Stallions after leaving Saugerties for a few days, but he is back in right field, which is a big help to the Stallions lineup.
Awesome, Shannon. Thank you. And as Shannon said, a little more of a familiar look at the Stallions field. Noah Berghammer back at second after playing first base last night. Get this, Jake, for his first time in his baseball career. A guy who's been playing baseball for a very long time had never played first base before last night.
That's just crazy. And Berghammer's not the biggest of guys either.
No, but he did a fine job.
See if Byron can do a better job of his command this inning.
And walk to pair. Did have a strikeout. Brendan Harris leads off for the Outlaws. First offering is cut through 0-1. Harris hitting .232 in the season, was 1 for 4 a couple nights ago against Glens Falls. This is an Outlaws team that had a 5-4 win against the Dragons and an off day last night. 0-1 delivery from Byron. Down and in, 1-1.
First pitch from Byron had really nice arm side break to it. A little bit of a sinker action on that one. That's a hard pitch to hit, and that's how you get lots of ground ball outs.
Byron comes set in the 1-1. Fires home on the ground towards short. Backhand by Brown. Strong throw to first in time. 1 away.
Nice strong play by Brown, trusting his arm. Gets that one across of a hard throw. And as we said, that fastball, that sink action to it gets you some ground ball outs.
Scoreless bottom of the 2nd. And after that first out, brings up Keone Coloma. Has a hit in his last 2 games. Lefty-lefty matchup. Byron fires in on the ground towards second. Off a couple hops, Berghammer has it, flings on, and brought in by Fugers. 2 quick outs.
Berghammer back at his natural position of second, makes the play there, and that's what you got to do here. You got that fastball, a little bit of downward action on it. Byron's able to stay around the plate. That's what's going to happen. You're going to get quick outs, you're going to get ground ball outs.
2 outs brings up Yuzuki Okamura, native of Japan, out of Herkimer Community College. Has recorded a hit in back-to-back games, the 196 hitter. We'll dig in. You mentioned the Stallions. If they win tonight, they get that first round bye. Next 2 games don't matter as much. I'd love to see the return of Anthony Petignano to the bullpen. Give him an inning or 2.
I hope Anthony's watching right now.
First pitch, put in the air to center, and it's caught on the move by David Shackelford. So, Anthony, if you're tuning in there, we'll put in a little plea to Coach Doobie after the game if the Stallions win. We're through 2. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Top of the 3rd after this, we are scoreless from Demashki Field in Oneonta, New York on the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network.
Top three from Oneonta, Stallions, and Outlaws all knotted up still at 0. Noah Berghammer set the lead things off for Saugerties. 2-3-4 due up this inning. Berghammer 0 for 1 tonight, struck out swinging. Back in the first for the lone strikeout so far tonight for Marcus Cashman, who's back out for his 3rd inning of work. Berghammer 339 so far on this season, 8 runs driven in, 12 runs scored for the second baseman out of Minnesota. Cashman, the tall righty, works from the windup. Here's the first pitch. Berghammer hits that one sharply towards right field on the ground, in for a base hit. First pitch, leadoff single for Noah Berghammer. And the Stallions get a leadoff base runner for the first time tonight, and it'll bring Kip Fugers, the 3-hole hitter, to the plate.
And that's an adjustment these batters have made as this season's progressed. Being a little bit more aggressive on those first offerings. A lot of times the best pitch you're going to get in an at-bat is that first pitch. A pitcher always wants to start off an AB with the strike. Berghammer is waiting for a fastball in the zone. He took it out to right, and he does what he does best. Just a base hit.
This is a team that has gotten more aggressive on the base pass and at the plate as the season has progressed. First pitch to Fugers, down for a ball, blocked by the catcher Okamura. Noah Berghammer holds up at first, makes the count 1-0 to Kip.
Again, Kip had the day off yesterday. A well-earned day off, to say the least.
It's Fugers' first day off in 12 games. And as we said, Noah Berghammer, who's on first now, slid over and played first. As John said last inning, for the first time in his life playing baseball, not just his collegiate career, his entire life. Throwing back over to first is Cashman, Berghammer back in standing up.
Yeah, and I think as the season goes on, it's important for a guy like Fugers or tonight, Josh Stevenson, to have the night off, have some time to rest and recuperate as we get to the playoffs, because these are guys who, if the Stallions are going to win it all, they're going to have some big games.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Hit foul off the foot of Fugers. As he now crouches down in the left-handed batter's box, hand on knees. Going to try to walk that one off. Evens up the count at 1 apiece, nothing away. Still in the top of the third as Berghammer leads off first. And obviously, as we mentioned earlier, if the Stallions win tonight, they clinch themselves a first-round bye and the 2 seed, which also brings a home game in the PGCBL playoff semifinals on Saturday.
Yeah, the Stallions have already clinched a top 4 seed. Important to note that whether they get the 2 seed or not, they will host a playoff game. But this is the chance to actually get that first-round bye.
And if they can win tonight, we'll see how head coach Rich Doobie plays his cards the final 2 games as he tries to get some of his top guys some much-needed rest before the playoffs kick off this weekend. Counts 1-1, nothing away to Fugers. Cashman works from the stretch. Berghammer goes, pitches a curveball, swung on and missed by Fuger. Throw to second, not in time. Noah Berghammer swipes second base. It's his 3rd stolen base of the season, 2nd tonight for the Stallions. Pitch was a strike as Fugers swung. Makes the count 1-2 to him, still nothing away to the 3-hole hitter.
I love the fact that the Stallions continue to be aggressive. Keep doing it until they can stop you. I could definitely say this, Okamura has a better arm than what we saw from Nick Winslow, the catcher from Glens Falls last night. I don't think we'll see 15 stolen bases, but I do think we'll see a continued aggressive mindset on the bases for Saugerties.
The count is at 2 so far in the stolen base category. 1-2, Cashman sets at the belt, checks back at Berghammer at second. Here's the pitch. Fugers hits that one on the ground, fair, left field line. Berghammer rounds third. Hull score. Fugers coming around first. Hull head to second, standing up. It's a no-out double and an RBI for Kip Fugers. 1-0 Stallions here in the top half of the third over Oneonta.
What do you know? The best RBI hitter in the PGCBL gets the job done again. Just hard on the ground, right down the third baseline. He's into second, and Berghammer scores. And the first run of the board is for the Stallions.
31st run driven in for Kip Fugers this season, the first baseman out of Indiana. Cade Verduzco, the cleanup hitter, now to the plate for Saugerties. Cashman, after giving up his first run, set at the belt and deals. Verduzco fouls that one right side and out of play towards the parking lot and right towards our team bus. Makes the count 0-1 to Verduzco.
Well, I believe I saw our bus driver, Peter, actually come into the stadium. So I don't know if he's still on the bus right now, but big shout out to Peter.
Just heard a car alarm go off. Hopefully that's not due to a ball hitting it. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Verduzco. Went upstairs with a fastball was Cashman. Verduzco fans and misses at that one. Counts 0-2.
That has to be everyone's biggest fear. Parking at a baseball game, you walk back after the night, long 3-hour game, 4-hour game, whatever it may be, only to see your windshield shattered.
Lucky if we make it through this summer with all of our windshields in place. 0-2 the count to Verduzco. Still nothing away here in the top of the third. Cashman checks back at Futures at second, delivers the pitch. It's flared shallow center field. Coloma coming in, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Futures retreats back to second. And that brings Andrew Wilhite to the plate. Still top three, 1-0 Stallions.
And after dropping the first fly ball in center, Coloma has made a couple of catches out there. Seems to have figured out whatever caused that first error.
Brings Andrew Wilhite to the plate. Wilhite walked back in the first inning, making his first appearance for the Stallions in a couple of days after leaving town and now returning. The few games left in the 2021 regular season for Saugerties. Cashman sets at the belt, delivers the first pitch from the stretch. That one's fouled to the left side by Wilhite. Counts 0-1 to him. 283 on the season for Wilhite. 1 home run, 14 runs driven in. Playing right field tonight out of Minnesota. His Minnesota teammate Noah Berghammer singled and scored to start off this inning. Now Wilhite down 0-1. Here's the pitch. Rope towards first base. Gets by the first baseman Weiss in the right field. A base hit. Futures rounds third. Heading home. The throw to the plate from Markin Wright is not in time. Moving to second is Andrew Wilhite. It's an RBI single for him. And the Stallions lead it 2-0 now here in the third.
Hey, shout out to the Big Ten Conference. Got a Minnesota guy with a single to lead off that a stolen base. Driven in by an Indiana Hoosier and Kip Futures, an RBI double. And another Golden Gopher out of Minnesota, Andrew Wilhite, the RBI single. Big Ten producing tonight for the Stallions.
As a couple of Penn State guys, we can appreciate the Big Ten action tonight. Brings Caden Kendall to the plate. Still only one down here in the third. Runner on second and Wilhite. He moved to second on the throw by the right fielder Mark. The first pitch to him. In there for a called strike to Kendall. Counts 0-1.
Good to see the Stallions get a couple runs on the board. Give Zach Byron some breathing room on the mound. He looked a lot better in the second than he did in the first. I'd expect to see his second inning performance continue for the rest of his outing.
Cashman sets and deals inside the Kendall for a ball. 1-1 the count, 1 away. Kendall flew out the right his first time off on the heels of a 3-for-3 night last night. And the Stallions 18-6 Mercy Rule win at Glens Falls, a game that only took 7 innings due to the new Mercy Rule rules this season in the PGCBL. Cashman steps off the mound for a second. Back on and resets. Looks in to get the sign from his catcher, Okamura. Cashman checks back at the runner at second. Here's the 1-1. Curveball drops in for a called strike to Kendall. Counts 1-2 to him now.
Great pitch. A lot of movement. Dropped pretty late coming towards the plate. And Kendall couldn't do much about it.
225 on the season for Kendall. 6 runs driven in. Has an opportunity to drive in another with Andrew Wilhite standing on second base. 1 out. Cashman sets and deals. Just misses outside for a ball. 2-2 to Kendall.
I think Cashman thought he had that strikeout, started to do that strikeout strut. Instead is ball 2.
That was a pitch that in the first inning was called a strike, but here in the top half of the third, the zone is tightened a little bit. 2-2 the count, 1 out here in the third. Andrew Wilhite leads off second. Stallions looking to expand on its already 2-0 lead. Cashman checks back at the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Went down low for breaking pitch. Kendall chases it, and that is the second strikeout tonight for Marcus Cashman, and that'll bring Max Morris to the plate with 2 down here in the third.
Yeah, good sequence by Cashman. Couple pitches near the zone, and then drops one down and outside, able to get Kendall to chase.
Morris 0 for 1 tonight. Hit a slow roller to third. Back in the second, Carson Swank, the third baseman, made a nice play for Oneonta to retire Morris. Here's the first pitch from Cashman, and they're on the outside corner for a called strike. Counts 0-1 to him.
This is where Max Morris has thrived. Guys in scoring position, able to get hits, able to drive guys home. You have Wilhite on second. Now he's looking to give the Stallions a 3-0 lead.
0-1 to count to Morris, the catcher from St. Thomas in Minnesota. Here's the pitch. That one's dribbled foul right to the third base coach, Adam Cray, who makes a nice play with two hands on a very high and friendly hop. And the count's now 0-2 to Morris with 2 outs.
We have to give Cray a lot of credit for that. I know we always mention when he can't get a ground ball, but off a big hop, Coach Cray able to field it.
Morris looking to battle back, down 0-2 in the count. 2 outs, runner on second. Here's the pitch from Cashman. Upstairs for a ball, 1-2. Couldn't get Morris to chase. Morris 368 on the season so far. Just 20 at-bats since arriving here in Saugerties. Has driven in 9 runs, though. Another one stands on second for him and Andrew Wilhite. If he can connect on a base hit here. Cashman. Here's the 1-2. That one gets away from the catcher Okamura, moving to third easily, standing up as Andrew Wilhite. And now the third run of the night, just 90 feet away for the Stallions, as the count's now 2-2 to Morris.
And that opens the door to a couple more things. Obviously, a hit is now definitely going to score Wilhite, but pass ball, wild pitch, will bring him home as well.
It's a righty-on-righty matchup. Cashman on the mound, towing the first base side of the rubber. Max Morris in the right-handed batter's box. 2 outs, top 3. Stallions lead by 2. Andrew Wilhite leads off third. Cashman sets at the belt and deals. That one's hit a mile high in the air, shallow right field. Second baseman Hand retreats back into the outfield grass and makes the catch. And that will retire the side. 2 runs for the Stallions on 3 hits. They leave 1 runner on third. We'll head to the bottom half of the third. Stallions lead 2-0 on the Stallions Broadcast Network. Stallions Baseball brought to you by Design Yourself Strong Sports Performance. At DYS, they build better athletes. Dwyer Contracting, high-quality craftsmanship, and a family-owned business. Efros Orthodontics, the smile provider for the Stallions. Gristmill Realty, looking to sell, list with Gristmill. And Halter Associates Realty, make the right move with Halter. Bottom half of the third inning from the Mashke Field here in Oneonta. I'm Jake Starr, joined alongside by John Gross. The Stallions lead at 2-0 over the Outlaws. A couple runs scored on 3 hits in the top half of the frame. For Saugerties, it'll be 9-10-1 to the plate. For Oneonta here in the bottom of the frame. Henry Polinsky, the left fielder, will lead things off for Oneonta. Zach Byron back out for another inning of work. Has gone 2 innings of hitless and shutout baseball thus far. The first pitch from the lefty, on the outside corner to the lefty Polinsky for a called strike, 0-1 the count.
And the only negative of Byron's performance so far, just a couple walks in the first inning, struggled a bit with his command, but got back into the zone in the second.
The 0-1 pitch, curveball, hits Polinsky right in the elbow. And he's going to work himself a leadoff hit by pitch. That's another base runner, and for the second time today, it's a leadoff base runner in 3 innings for Oneonta, and it brings Jacob Hand to the plate.
Third free 90 issued by Byron, and it has been that curveball that just doesn't seem to be having as much break as it normally does. He's missing arm side up and out every time that he's really thrown that pitch.
So Byron looked to respond here against Jacob Hand, the 10-hole hitter in the lineup for Oneonta. Hand playing second base tonight, made the last out of the inning. on a high fly ball to him. First pitch from Byron, up and in for a ball. Counts 1-0 to the lefty hand.
The 10-hitter up now, top of the order on deck.
Hand 204 on the season, 14 runs scored, 10 runs driven in. Byron sets, deals the 1-0, misses up and in again for a ball, counts 2-0. Zach Byron really struggling with command tonight, has yet to give up a hit. He has walked 2 and just hit Polinsky to lead off this inning. Byron gets the sign from the catcher Morris, sets at the belt, checks back at the runner at first. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike, counts 2-1.
And given the situation, a shorter bullpen, a couple games, then the playoffs, the Stallions are going to need 5 innings or so from Zach Byron tonight.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Gets the outside corner for a called strike, counts 2-2 to hand now, as Byron is batted all the way back. Still nothing away, bottom 3. Leading off first is Polinsky. He was hit by a pitch to lead off the inning. Byron working quickly. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. The second Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union strikeout tonight for Zach Byron for the first out of the inning, and it'll bring the leadoff hitter Paul Tomorrow to the plate for Oneonta.
It looked to be 5 fastballs in that up bat. 2 coming way inside, then works the outside corner for 3 straight pitches and picks up his second strikeout of the evening.
Tomorrow, walk back in the first to lead off the bottom half of that frame for Oneonta. First pitch from Byron. Swung and fouled off by Tomorrow. Makes the count 0-1 to him. Bottom 3, Stallions lead 2-0. 2 runs on 5 hits for Saugerties. No runs, no hits so far tonight for Oneonta. Zach Byron, the lefty from Wofford, making his final start in a Stallions uniform. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung and fouled back off the protective netting behind home plate. Counts 0-2 now to Tomorrow. I didn't flinch on that one, John. Did you flinch?
I did not.
Jake Starr, John Gross, stone cold.
Unfazed anymore by these foul balls. Just used to the netting in front of us. Now, if there's a pop fly that comes our way, I'm trying to make the catch. If I have to throw my headset off, I'm doing it.
0-2's the count to Tomorrow. 1 away. Byron checks on Polinsky at first and delivers. That one's hit foul, left side. Count remains 0-2 to Tomorrow. Tomorrow, the shortstop from SUNY Oswego. 330 on the season, 25 runs scored, 8 runs driven in. Has been a consistent presence at the top of the Outlaw lineup this season. Here's the 0-2. Curveball, in on the hands, shallow left center field. Brown tracks back. That's going to drop in for a base hit in front of Shackelford. The throw from Shackelford, the second, gets by everybody and comes all the way down past the first base line in foul territory, where Max Morris is able to keep it in front of him. And that's the first hit of the day for Oneonta. And now there's runners on first and second. Still 1 gone here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Jake, that seemed like a situation where Shackelford paused for a second. Maybe thought Brown would be able to get there, and then he started to sprint in. Similar to what we saw a couple of games ago, the first game of the doubleheader against Albany at Cantine Field. Josh Stevenson paused and then ran in a little bit late behind it. Similar situation to what we just saw, and that puts runners in first and second.
As we said, first hit of the evening so far for Oneonta. They're threatening now with 2 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Carson Swank to the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. Just misses inside with an off-speed pitch. Counts 1-0. Swank 0 for 1 tonight. Struck out his first time up back in the bottom of the 1st. It's a lefty on righty matchup. Byron set at the belt. Here's the pitch. That one misses down and in again. Counts now 2-0 to Swank. Swank has driven in 12 so far this season. 13 and 14 stand on second and first, respectively. Byron checks back at Polinsky at second, set at the belt and deals. Hit straight up in the air in the infield. Kip Fugers, the first baseman, comes into the grass, now backs up towards the cutout, makes the catch for the second out of the inning, and a big one at that as the 3-hole hitter Riley Hall comes to the plate.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, only one thing matters. Get out of this inning without allowing any runs. Byron's allowed a couple base runners, but no harm, no foul if he can get this final out.
Polinsky on second, Tomorrow on first. Riley Hall, the lefty at the plate. It's a lefty on lefty matchup as Byron sets at the belt with 2 gone and deals the first pitch. Curveball, misses that one inside to Hall, and the count's 1-0. Hall walked his first time up in the first. Has a chance now for runner on second and first. Byron set, checks the runner at second and deals. That one's rolled foul right side. Counts 1-1 to Hall now.
Jake, some score updates of note around the league. Bottom of the second, Niagara and Jamestown are tied scoreless. Again, if the Tarpskunks lose that game, the Stallions get the bye. If the Stallions win tonight, they get the bye. Just need one thing to happen in either direction.
Stallions control their own destiny. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Big curveball. And therefore a called strike to Hall, who took it. Counts now 1-2. Byron 1 pitch away from seeing himself through this 3rd inning. So he said if the Stallions win tonight, they clinch the 2 seed and a first-round bye. They're already guaranteed a home playoff game. Now it's just a matter if it'll occur in the 1st or 2nd round. 1-2's the count, 2 outs. Hall at the plate. Here's the pitch. That one's fouled back off the netting behind home plate. Count remains 1-2 to Hall.
Another score in the East Division. Albany in the bottom of the 4th currently leads Amsterdam 3-2.
Amsterdam obviously has already clinched the Eastern Division and the 1 seed in the playoffs. So not much to play for the Mohawks the rest of the way. Here's the 1-2. That one's flared right to second base where Berghammer takes 2 steps to his right and makes the catch, and that retires the side. No runs on a hit. 1 runner left on base for the Outlaws. We'll head to the 4th with the Stallions leading 2-0. Top of the 4th inning, just about an hour into this one from Oneonta, New York. Stallions lead the Outlaws 2-0. I'm Jake Starger alongside by John Gross as Albert Jennings leads things off for the Stallions. 8, 9, 10 due up for Saugerties here in the top half of the frame. Marcus Cashman, the righty, back out for another inning of work here in the 4th. Sets with the windup. Here's the pitch. Misses down low for curveball to Jennings. Counts 1-0 to him.
Had a single back in the 1st inning, ended up stealing a base. Looked to be the 2nd straight inning the Stallions have started with a base runner.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Jennings. Gets that one in the air, foul out of play on the left side, makes him 1-1. Jennings, 2-11 so far on the season. Now I'm just realizing that car alarm is a sound effect that they play here. It's not an actual car alarm.
It did sound like it came from the parking lot, though.
Here's the 1-1 to Jennings. Down low for a ball, 2-1. Because the first time, a couple innings ago, there was a foul ball that was first base side towards the bus out of play. And the speakers are on that first base side. So we thought, John and myself, That's where the alarm was coming from. Here's the 2-1 from Cashman to Jennings. That one's fouled back off the netting. Makes the count 2-2 to him.
A couple weeks ago, actually at this point it was over a month ago, the foul ball actually did hit the bus, hit our team bus.
Jennings hits that one in the air in the infield. Foul territory now. Third baseman Swank moves over to it and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Brings Nick Iverson to the plate. One down here in the fourth, and we just got a special delivery from the owner of the Oneonta Outlaws. We got some ice cream sandwiches, John.
What a nice guy. He has treated us, and this whole Outlaws franchise has treated us so well this year. Definitely one of, if not my favorite place to travel to. Just a top-notch, high-class organization. Nothing but great things to say about everyone here.
First pitch to Iverson. In the outside corner for a strike. Counts 0-1 to him. Ice cream sandwiches, one of my favorite desserts, John.
Okay, it's up there for me. I wouldn't say one of my favorites, but I like it.
We'll have to give it a test on air. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Iverson. Big curveball, misses upstairs above the letters. Counts 1-1 to him. Iverson 0 for 1 so far tonight. Grounded to third, his last time up back in the second. Here's the 1-1 from Cashman. Misses outside for a ball, 2-1.
You know what my favorite dessert is? If you guess this, I'll give you a high five.
Is it something mainstream?
No, not really.
Here's the 2-1 pitch from Cashman. Iverson swings and misses at that fastball that was away. Counts 2-2, 1 out, top four. Stallions lead 2-0, no one on.
But it is something that you've heard of. Most people have.
Is it a
probably
cookie
everyone has had it.
sandwich?
No.
Is it a frozen treat?
No.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Iverson. Fouls that one back off the netting behind home plate again. 2-2 remains the count, one gone.
It originates from a European country.
Macaroons?
No, but it's the right country.
So it's French.
Oui.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Iverson. Curveball, chopped towards short. Tomorrow up with it, fires across in time for the second out of the inning. Couple groundouts tonight for Nick Iverson, and now it brings the 10-0 hitter Jarrett Brown to the plate with 2 gone here in the fourth. Stallions lead at 2-0.
Trying to avoid their first 1-2-3 inning of the game at the plate.
Man, I'm stumped. Can you give me a hint?
It's something that maybe some people wouldn't. It is a dessert to me, but some people, you could eat it for like lunch or breakfast or dinner.
I got it now. We've had this conversation before. Here's the first pitch to Jarrett Brown. On the outside corner for a called strike. It's a crepe.
It is.
And we've talked about that a handful this summer.
Yes.
I know there's a cafe in downtown Saugerties that, as you said, makes good crepes. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Jarrett Brown from Cashman out of the windup. Fastball misses upstairs for a ball. Counts 1-1.
And now I'm really craving a crepe. As they say in French, I guess, je voudrais une crêpe.
It's more French than I know.
Studied it for 7 years. Used to be pretty good.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Brown. That one's rolled over towards short again. Tomorrow has it, looking to make his second play in a row, and he does. And that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down for the Stallions here in the top half of the fourth. They'll head to the bottom of the frame. Saugerties still leads 2-0. Bottom four, 2-0 Stallions. Thanks for joining myself, Jake Starr, and John Gross on the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. Ryan Weiss, the cleanup hitter, leads things off for Oneonta here in the bottom of the frame. Weiss, Mark, Harris, 4, 5, 6. Coming to the plate for the Outlaws here as the sun continues to set at historic Damashki Field. Zach Byron, another inning of work. His first pitch is in there for a called strike on the outside corner to Weiss. Makes the count 0-1.
I figure Byron probably has another inning or two in him. Stallions would love to stretch him out as much as possible. Save the
One
bullpen.
pitch from Byron out of the windup, misses for a ball, counts 1-1. Weiss is 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out the right his first time up, back in the first. Here's the 1-1 from Byron. That one's foul to the right side, out of play. Towards the parking lot, makes the count 1-2 to Weiss.
I have to say, in my quest to get a foul ball, if there is a ball coming our way, I think I'll be overrun by like 20 kids. So I don't think I can take them on.
Byron set at the belt to 1-2. Misses just outside for a ball to Weiss. Counts 2-2 to him. Still nothing away, bottom four. Of all the ballparks that we go to, this is the one that has the most kids that chase after foul balls.
It's either this or Glens Falls.
Glens
that
Falls
we
up there
travel
too.
to, yeah.
Here's a 2-2. Curveball. Just misses it outside. Morris tried to bring it back. Doesn't get the call. Runs the count full. Glens Falls is interesting because they have a deal where if you return a foul ball, you get a hot dog, a soda, and $1 from the concession stand for your services of returning a foul ball. Counts full to Weiss. Byron set at the belt and deals. About again, right side. It's off the top of the protective netting next to the Stallions dugout.
I don't know if it compares though to the prize wheel on Cantine Fields, and I think the grand prize of that is $10. You could win $10, which is that's a nice chunk of change. I'll take that.
Here's a 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back by Weiss. Count remains 3-2 to him.
It's good to see though on this at bat, Byron's breaking ball is better. It's more in the zone than in the first few innings. He was missing arm side high and away pretty much every single time. It really wasn't breaking down towards the plate. Now we're seeing that movement that we're used to seeing from the lefty.
Here's the full count pitch to Weiss. Misses just above the belt for a ball 4. And Weiss works himself a leadoff walk. It's the third walk of the evening for Zach Byron. Surprisingly, because he only came into the night with 4 walks on the season in 27 2/3, but now through 3+, he already has 3 given up so far tonight.
Yeah, uncharacteristic night for Zach Byron, but again, the only thing that really matters is the scoreboard. If he can keep posting zeros, which he's done for the first 3 frames, that's it. Stallions have a 2-0 lead. You figure they'll probably get a few more runs on the board.
Keaton Mark to the plate. First pitch to him. Up tight towards his head. To the lefty Mark. Counts 1-0 to him. Mark is 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out the left. Back in the first to end that inning. It's a lefty on lefty matchup here. The pitcher Byron skips away from the catcher Morris. Trotting in the second, standing up is Ryan Weiss, advancing on a wild pitch. And it makes the count 2-0 now to Keaton Mark. Still nothing away here in the bottom of the fourth. A runner on second now for Oneonta.
For the Outlaws, the best opportunity really that they've had to get home run. They've had base runners, they've gotten guys into a scoring position, but now with nobody out, you have some pretty good hitters coming up, including a guy at the plate right now in Mark, who has a 7-game hitting streak. This is their prime opportunity to get a first run of the board.
Mark looking to extend on that and make it 8 in a row. Takes that 2-0 just off the outside part of the plate. Makes the count 3-0 now to Mark. Mark hitting .337 on the season, 2 home runs, 17 runs driven in. Up in the count 3-0. Here's the pitch. Strike 1. Just got the inside corner was Byron. Makes the count 3-1 as he looks to battle back here against Mark. Ryan Weiss leads off second. He worked the leadoff walk. Moved to second on a wild pitch. Set at the belt is Byron. Here it is. That one's hit high towards center. Shackelford races back at the track, at the wall. Bounces just at the base of the wall. Rounding third and scoring is Weiss. Heading in the second, standing up is Keaton Mark, and it's a 1-out RBI double for him. No out, excuse me. And it's 2-1 Saugerties now as Oneonta gets one back.
And when you get yourself behind in the mound like Byron did, you're forced to throw strikes, and that allows a really good hitter like Keaton Mark to wait on a pitch that he likes, be more selective. He saw a pitch that he loved. He drove it to straightaway center, deepest part of this ballpark. And when I say this is a deep ballpark, I mean it. It's 335 down the lines, probably about 400 to center. And at some other ballparks in this league, that would have been a 2-run home run. But luckily for the Stallions, just 1 run coming across. Now would have to get 3 outs to keep this game a 1-run lead.
Brendan Harris at the plate. First pitch from Byron misses down and in for a ball. Counts 1-0 to Harris, who's 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded out the short back in the second to lead off that inning. Byron trying to work out of some trouble now with the runner on second and nothing away. Stallions lead at 2-1. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. Counts 2-0. And now we're starting to see those command issues from Zach Byron start to come back to bite him.
He looked good in the second, went 1-2-3, a quick inning. But other than that, he has walked or allowed a runner to reach for the hit by pitch in all 3 of his other innings.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Rolled over foul down the left side. Makes the count 2-1 now to Harris.
So the utmost importance that the Stallions can get a full inning in this 4th. I'm sure they'd love a 5th inning from Zach Byron as well. It's his final appearance of the season. They have a shallow bullpen right now, just trying to rest some guys before the playoffs come up so they could be at full strength.
Here's the 2-1. Rolled over right side in the right field for a base hit. Rounding third is Mark. Up with it and throwing is Wilhite, and Mark will stop after turning around third after a strong throw by Andrew Wilhite. And that's a base hit for Brendan Harris, who hit it softly but just found the hole between first and second. Now Oneonta's got runners on the corner, still nobody out here in the 4th.
I don't know if Keaton Mark was told to stop by the third base coach or what, but he should have been scoring. That ball on the ground was bobbled by Wilhite. He made a good throw to get it back into the infield quickly, but this should be a 2-2 ball game right now.
Keaton Coloma to the plate now, 0 for 1. He's got runners on the corners, nothing away. Byron trying to dig himself out of a hole here. Byron, the tall lefty. It's a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Works from the stretch. First pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. We'll see how big of a leash Zach Byron has from head coach Rich Doobie for the Stallions. Checks back at the runner, Harris at first. Here's the 1-0. Curveball misses, low and away, counts 2-0.
I'm kind of surprised we have not seen a mound visit quite yet. I think we'll probably see one soon if Coloma reaches, whether it's a hit or a walk. Won't be shocked to see Rich Doobie coming out and chat with Zach Byron.
Counts 2-0. Byron set at the belt and deals. That one's hit towards center field. Shackelford races back at the edge of the wall, has a read on it, makes the catch. Tagging from third and scoring is Mark. Retreating back to first is Harris. And it's an RBI sacrifice fly for Coloma, and it makes the score 2-2 here in the 4th.
Well, good things happen when you get guys on base early in innings. They get the first 3 guys to reach, and that really opens the door for you to score in a whole bunch of ways. Coloma gives it a right to center. It's the first out of the inning, but still danger for the Outlaws with the runner on.
Yuzuki Okamura to the plate now for Oneonta. 1 gone, bottom 4, 2-2, excuse me, the score. Runner on first. Byron deals from the stretch, swinging and missing at that high fastball is Okamura. Makes the count 0-1 to him. Byron 3 1/3 so far tonight, 2 runs, both earned. 3 hits surrendered as well. Counts 0-1, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Curveball misses arm side again away to Okamura. Makes the count 1-1. Okamura 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out to center his first time up in the second. Byron set at the belt, checks on the runner at first, and comes home with the pitch. Another curveball fouled off the hands, off the netting behind home plate. Counts 1-2 now to Okamura. Okamura, a lowly 196 on the season, 7 runs scored, 11 runs driven in. Byron peers in, gets a sign from the catcher Morris. Shakes his glove. Here's the 1-2. Misses away again, arm side. Makes it 2-2 now to Okamura.
Score update from Jamestown. The live stats have stopped working, but per the Niagara-powered Twitter, Niagara is currently leading Jamestown 5-4, which is good news for the Stallions.
1-2-1 out. Here's the pitch from Byron. That one's flared off the hands. Foul into the stands on the first base side. On a hop. Makes the count 1-2 again. Okamura broke his bat on that one, so the on-deck batter, Henry Polinsky, brings him a new piece of lumber. And he's set to do it again at 2-2, as the home plate umpire says. Scoreboard here reads 1-2.
Just to reiterate, the Stallions win one of their next three. That includes tonight. They get that 2 seed. Or if Jamestown loses one of its next two, that includes tonight, the Stallions get the 2 seed. So Saugerties' magic number is 1. And right now with Niagara in the lead, it's only the 4th inning. But if that result stands, what happens tonight for the Stallions is irrelevant. Although you would love to win. You'd love to have momentum going into the postseason.
Here's a 2-2 pitch to Okamura. Fastball hit in the air towards shallow center field. Berghammer at the edge of the grass doesn't see it. And the right fielder, Wilhite, comes all the way over and makes the catch. He came out of nowhere and made that catch. Berghammer and Shackelford both didn't see it, but Wilhite does and comes in and saves the day for the second out of the inning.
It's that awkward time of night where the sun is setting. You can still see the sky above, but it's kind of like whitish almost, like a whitish blue. And these lights are pretty bright as well, so it makes things difficult. And now Rich Doobie is going to go chat with Zach Byron, her first mound visit of the game. I can't quite tell if anybody, our vantage point isn't really good to see the bullpen. I can't quite tell if anyone's warming up. I might take a jog down there between half innings. But for now, looks like Byron's going to stay in there. Doobie's going to give him a slap on the back and keep his lefty starter in the ball game, trying to get this one final out in the 4th.
Could be the final inning for Byron. We'll have to see what happens in the 5th here. He's got the 9-hole hitter, Henry Polinsky, the face here in the bottom of the 4th. Score remains 2-2, 2 outs here in the inning. Runner on first, it's Brendan Harris. He's singled. So far this inning, Ryan Weiss walked, advancing a wild pitch. Keaton Mark doubled, scored Ryan Weiss. Brendan Harris singled, moved Mark to third. And then runners in the corners, Coloma hit a sac fly to center, which evened up to score 2 apiece and scored Mark. Byron, one more out away from getting out of this 4th. Checks on the runner at first. Here's the first pitch to Polinsky. Swinging and missing on a ball down low. Makes the count 0-1.
And we'll say this, as we've seen Oneonta battle their way back into this game, despite their record, Oneonta isn't, they're a solid team. I think they're a competitive team. They've had some kind of close games against the Stallions. They're not a pushover.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Slap foul on the left side, just past the third base coach. Makes the count 0-2 now to Henry Polinsky, and Byron's 1 pitch away from escaping what's been a tough bottom of the 4th inning for him. Here's the 2-2. Hit off the end of the bat towards second. Berghammer will go the short way to second. Brown catches, touches the bag, and that will retire the side. 2 runs, 2 hits. 1 runner left on base for Oneonta. We'll head to the top of the 5th. All tied up at 2 from Damasky Field. Stallions Baseball brought to you by Hell's Mortal Realty and Insurance, sponsor of insurance runs for the Stallions. I'm MedView Inc., independent medical review, world-class results, and local connections. IXL Health and Fitness, keeping the Stallions fit all season long. J. Mullins and Sons Inc., masonry, excavation, building, and a whole lot more. And Jim Howick's Seamless Gutters, protect your home with Jim Howick. Top of the 5th inning, top of the lineup, 2 up for the Stallions, as we're all tied up at 3 between Saugerties and Oneonta after the Outlaws put up a 2 spot in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And now David Shackelford will look to get things started here for the Stallions in the frame.
Yeah, the top of the order due up, a good spot for the Stallions to be in, trying to retake the lead after giving up a pair.
Marcus Cashman back out for another inning of work for the Outlaws here. The first pitch to Shackelford is a curveball that drops in there for a called strike, counts 0-1.
Shackelford's hit the ball pretty well today. A couple fly-outs to the outfields.
Flew out to center his last time up, back in the 2nd. Here's the 0-1 from Cashman. Fastball just below the knees for a ball, counts 1-1.
Yeah, after a big game last night, 2 for 3, 2 RBI, and 3 stolen bases. Reached base in 4 of his 5 plate appearances. 2 hits and 2 hit by pitches.
Here's the 1-1 pitch from Cashman as Shackelford looks to stay hot. Fastball in there for a called strike, 1-2. Nice run on that fastball. Had some sinker action to it.
Cashman's looked good. He's looked good. This is the 3rd time the Stallions have, the 2nd time the Stallions have faced him. First time since June 10th, but this is the best that we've seen from him in our limited time watching him.
Here's the 1-2 from the windup. Just misses low and away to Shackelford, counts 2-2. And one thing Cashman's been really good at tonight, John, has been painting those corners and keeping the ball down low around the knees.
Absolutely. When you can work the corners, you can work at the knees, they're strikes, but for batters that they don't look like strikes, or if they are going after them, they're tough to hit.
Here's the 2-2 to Shackelford. Swing and a miss struck him out. 3rd strikeout tonight for Marcus Cashman as he continues to impress. It's the 6th straight batter sent down by Cashman, and it brings Noah Berghammer to the plate, who's 1 for 2 today with the run.
And Berghammer was the one who got the scoring started in the 3rd. He reached base with a single, then stole a base, and eventually came around to score. Has already had some success against Marcus Cashman, who again has been very impressive tonight.
Cashman, the righty, works from the windup, a righty-on-righty matchup with Berghammer. Here's the first pitch. Fastball misses just away for a ball, 1-0. Another pitch that had some nice run to it from Cashman. Cashman gets the sign from the catcher, Okamura. Goes into a windup with the hand going over the head. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Went inside with the fastball. Berghammer couldn't get to it. Makes the count 1-1 to him now. Berghammer 1 for 2 so far tonight. Building off a 1 for 4 night last night at Glens Falls, where he scored a run and also drew a walk. Cashman toes the first base side of the rubber. Gets the sign from Okamura. Here's the 1-1. Low and away for a ball to the righty Berghammer. Makes the count 2-1 now.
Starting to get a little cooler, low 70s, but still a nice night for baseball. We have been blessed after a ridiculous amount of rain. I think that's the only way to put it. We've had some great weather last couple weeks.
Back half of the month of July has been beautiful. The 2-1 pitch went upstairs with it. Berghammer chase. Counts 2-2 now.
And this is what Cashman continues to do with his fastball. He is, number 1, is good velocity, but number 2, he's touching all of his spots. He's working just on the edges of the strike zone. The toughest places for batters to see and to hit the pitches. Isn't really throwing anything right over the pipe.
2-2 the count to Berghammer, 1 away. Top 5, 2-2 the score. Cashman, a long look in, gets the sign from Okamura and deals from the windup. Berghammer lines that one foul, right side, and we'll do it again at 2-2 to him.
And on my last look between innings, there was no action in the Saugerties bullpen, so that remains the case. And again, the first base side dugout is blocking our view of the Stallions bullpen, but if there is no action, we will see Zach Byron for a 5th inning.
2-2 the count to Berghammer. looking for his second hit so far tonight. Cashman, a long pause once again, works from the windup. Here's the pitch. Berghammer hits that one off the end of the bat, foul over the Stallions dugout and out of play on the first base side towards and over the bleachers as a school of kids runs over to try to get that foul ball.
That's what I'm saying, Jake. Like, if there's a ball coming over here, I'm going to be surrounded by 20 kids. And if I do catch the ball, obviously I'd give it to a kid, but I'm still going to look like a jerk for catching the ball when a bunch of kids are around me.
If anything, you could say you saved them because it's going to be coming
That's
down
true.
fast. It's going to be high up. So it's about the safety. Here's the 2-2 to Berghammer. Curveball fouled back off the netting behind home plate. Count remains 2-2.
I'll pull the safety card, but as long as I don't look like Zach Hampel. That guy, oh man, he pisses me off.
Zach Campbell, known for his YouTube channel and going to pretty much every baseball game and catching every foul ball.
And he actually steals them from kids and like doesn't give them to kids. That's wrong.
Here's a 2-2 pitch to Berghammer. Went fishing after a low breaking pitch, and that's the fourth strikeout tonight for Marcus Cashman as he continues to cruise. Seventh consecutive batter sent down by Cashman, and that'll bring the 3-hole hitter Kip Futures to the plate. 2 down here in the 5th.
Attacking batters early in at-bats, getting a couple strikes on him, and then finishing him off. Back-to-back strikeouts. Now he has to face Kip Futures, who's 1 for 2.
Futures had an RBI double his last time up back in the 3rd. Here's the first pitch to him. Fouls that one off the pole that keeps the netting up behind home plate, and it bounces right back to the catcher Okamura. Makes the count 0-1 to Kip Futures.
We're getting closer, Jake.
The thing is, we need a ball that's hit straight up. It can't be anything that has any trajectory going towards the parking lot. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Cashman, the Futures. It's that one straight up in the air. This might be the opportunity, but it traveled a little bit too far. Bounces in the concourse and lands just at the base of the wall. On the concourse, and it looks like a kid in a red shirt and black shorts with green stripes picked it up, along with his friend in a gray shirt with orange lettering and navy blue shorts, as they now both run back towards the stands to presumably show their parents the foul ball they got. As Cashman steps off the mound and gets back to work. 0-2 to count the Futures.
Come on, Kip. Give us one. Right behind you.
Futures 4 home runs so far this season. The 0-2 bounces, blocked by the catcher Okamura. Makes the count 1-2 now to Kip Futures. Futures just completed his freshman season in Indiana, where he hit .209 in limited action with the Hoosiers. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Cashman. Fouls that one again. Let's see if that one stays in the concourse, and it doesn't. It goes over the fence as another convoy of children now chase that one. As long as they're careful out there and avoid any moving cars. Counts 1-2, so to Futures. 2 gone. Top 5, 2-2 to score.
Sound like a concerned parent, Jake. I respect it.
Here's the 1-2 from Cashman. Futures hits it straight up in the air. This time will stay in play. Third baseman Swank settles under it. About 10 steps to the left of the third base bag and makes the catch. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits. No one left on base. Stallions down in order again. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. 2-2 on the Stallions Broadcast Network. Bottom 5, Damaschke Field, all tied up at 2. Let's send it down to Shannon Bonowit. Shannon, what do you got for us? Thank you, Shannon. Bottom 5, score tied at 2 between Oneonta and Saugerties. New pitcher on the mound for the Stallions. It's Aaron Cohn making his 11th appearance of the season. 2-1, a 3.52 earned run average. 15 and a third innings pitched, 17 strikeouts, 11 walks, 16 hits given up. And he will face 10-1-2 for Oneonta here in the bottom of the 5th. Jacob Hand, who's 0 for 1, leads things off against Cohn. First pitch is from the windup, and it's in there on the inside corner for a called strike from Cohn. Cohn relieves Byron, who went 4, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. 3 walks and a couple of strikeouts. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Cohn. Misses away for a ball off an all-speed pitch, makes the count 1-1.
And Cohn making his 3rd appearance of the season against Oneonta, trying to keep this game tied.
Here's the 1-1 from the windup. In there for a called strike on the inside corner, count 1-2. It was an uncharacteristic night for Zach Byron. Only gave up 2 runs on 3 hits through 4, but it was his command that he really struggled with as Cohn toes the first base side of the rubber here against Hand. Gets set, and here's the 1-2. Misses that inside. Actually, it hit Hand in the foot. And that's going to be another hit by pitch and another leadoff base runner for Oneonta. That'll bring us back to the top of the lineup to Paul Tomorrow.
Hit Hand in the foot.
That's what I was going to go for. You took the words right out of my mouth.
But yeah, you mentioned Byron struggled with his command. This is a guy who entering today in 6 starts, 27 2/3, had walked just 4 batters all season. Walked 3 in 4 innings. So just not what we're used to seeing from him. Nonetheless, only gave up 2 runs. The Stallions still have a really good chance to come away with the win.
First pitch from Cohn to Paul Tomorrow. In there for a called strike. Makes the count 0-1 to him. Tomorrow, 1 for 1 so far. Singled back in the 3rd. Aaron Cohn now works from the stretch as Jacob Hand leads off the bag at first. Here's the 0-1. Curveball hung up there in the center field for a base hit on a line. And it's another single for Paul Tomorrow on back-to-back at-bats. Jacob Hand moves to second. Runners on first and second now. Nobody out. Still here in the bottom of the 5th. Scores tied at 2.
And that's what happens when you hang a breaking ball in the upper part of the zone. It stays. It's up there. It looks good coming in, and you can just rip it right back where it came from. Good piece of hitting by Paul Tomorrow. And now Aaron Cohn has worked himself into a bit of a jam. He comes in out of the bullpen, hits a batter, gives up a single. Now he has to go through 2, 3, 4, and a couple really good hitters.
Carson Swank to the plate. First pitch is a curveball. Catches the knees from Cohn. Makes the count 0-1 to Swank.
And that's the spot he needs to locate. Does a great curveball. If he can work it on the corners, work it down in the zone, that's when he's at his best.
Swank 0 for 2 so far tonight. Here's the 0-1. That one's hit towards the left side. Past the diving Brown, a shortstop in the left field for a base hit. Holding up at third is Hand. So it'll be a no-out single for Carson Swank, and that'll load the bases for Oneonta. Still 0 away, bottom 5. Score tied at 2. Riley Hall comes to the plate now. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Line to the second baseman, Berghammer. Back in the 3rd to end that frame.
Corner infielders in, middle infielders at double play depth.
Stallions willing to trade a double play for a run here in the bottom of the 5th. Cohn back to the windup. Here's the first pitch to Hall. In there for a called strike on the inside corner. Makes the count 0-1 now to Hall. 244 on the season is Hall. 9 runs driven in. A big opportunity for him to add to that number here. Here's the 0-1 from Cohn. Swinging and missing at that low pitch was Hall. Now the count's 0-2. And this would be a big out here if if Aaron Cohn can find a way to shut down Riley Hall.
Yeah, especially if he can do it via strikeout. Don't let him put anything in play. Keep the runners up on base. And then you get a strikeout, ground ball, double play ends this inning.
The 0-2 pitch from Cohn to Hall. Swing and a miss, struck him out. First Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union strikeout for Aaron Cohn tonight. And it's a big one to shut down Hall. Now it brings Ryan Weiss to the plate. And a ground ball can get the Stallions out of this inning unscathed.
Nice job by Cohn. I think a lot of times after giving up a couple hits, after loading the bases, pitchers can get timid and be afraid to pitch in the zone and throw anything over the plate. But Cohn works it past the bat of Hall a couple times, now faces Weiss.
Here's the first pitch to Weiss. Big looping curveball, misses just outside for a ball. Counts 1-0. Weiss walked his last time up in the fourth. Came around the score, flew out the right his first time up back in the first. Cohn holds the glove in front of his face, working from the windup. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Misses with a curveball. Max Morris, an excellent job to pick that off a short hop. If that got by him, Oneonta was surely going to score. Now the count's 2-0 to Weiss. Nowhere to put him.
Nope, have to attack.
2-0, 1 out. Bottom 5, bases juiced, full of Outlaws. Cohn works from the windup. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the pitch. That misses down low for a ball. 3-0. Really dangerous territory now for Aaron Cohn. Cohn looks in, gets a sign from Morris. A big pitch in this game here, the 3-0. And therefore called strike 3-1. Now Cohn has to continue to battle back here against Ryan Weiss, one of the best hitters on this Oneonta team, hitting .356 on the season. 18 RBI. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Another strike. Right at the belt, runs the count full now to Weiss.
Weiss thought it was a little bit high, as did the Outlaw dugout. But Cohn has battled back in another huge two-strike offering.
A big pitch coming up here for Aaron Cohn. Works from the windup. Bases loaded. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Just misses outside. Ball 4. Maybe an inch off the plate. And Ryan Weiss works himself his second straight walk and picks up an RBI as Jacob Hand touches home. And Oneonta grabs the lead. It's 3-2 Outlaws now, still bottom 5. Bases juiced, 1 out as Keaton Mark comes to the plate.
And something the Stallions have done such a good job of all year long, limiting the free 90s. That has not been the case tonight. That's been the Achilles heels for Saugerties. They eliminate these walks. They're up 2-0 right now.
First walk surrendered tonight by Cohn as that first pitch splits Fugers and Berghammer, goes in the right field, a base hit. 1 run scores, that's tomorrow. Now coming home is Swank as the ball was bobbled by the right fielder Will Height, and 2 runs score. It's 5-2 Oneonta now, the 3rd run in the bottom of the 5th. Still only 1 out, and the Stallions are getting in trouble.
This is not good for Saugerties. They've just come out a bit flat today, both pitching-wise and at the plate. And I think maybe you look at the record this season, 5-0 against Oneonta. You know you just have to win 1 more game to get that first round bye. Maybe a little overconfident coming into tonight, but you're going to have to earn it. Now down by 3. You have your work cut out for you, and this inning's not over yet.
Cohn back in the stretch. First pitch to Harris. Swings and misses at a ball that bounces in the dirt. Makes the count 0-1 to him. So it's 5-2 Oneonta, still bottom 5, 1 out. Runners on first and second, Mark and Weiss respectively. Aaron Cohn looking to get out of a jam here. Set at the letters, checks back at second. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's down, picked by Morris in the dirt. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. Brendan Harris, 1 for 2 so far tonight. Singled his last time up in the 4th. The 6th batter to come to the plate this inning for the Outlaws. Here's the 1-1. Swinging and missing at that fastball at the belt. Makes the count 1-2 now to Harris.
That's a good pitch from Cohn. Now you have to finish him off. Cannot allow Harris to stay alive, get on base, and keep this inning going. Already down by 3. And again, a game that you've struggled to bring runs home.
Aaron Cohn Love at the left hip. Right arm dangling with the ball. Looks in, gets a sign from Morris. Now he sets just above the belt. Here's the 1-2. That one's chopped towards short. Brown charges, flips to second for one. Berghammer's throw to first is not in time. So it'll go down as a 6-4 fielder's choice for the Stallions. Second out of the inning. Ryan Weiss moved to third on the play. So it'll be runners on the corners, 2 outs, bottom 5 for Keaton Coloma.
And that gives the Outlaws another opportunity. Coloma is 0 for 1 today. Had a ground out in the second before driving home a run on a sacrifice flyout in the fourth. But Keone, a quick guy in the bases. Pretty good bat as well, hitting .259 of the year.
Coloma 0 for 1 so far tonight. Sac fly his last time up in the fourth. 2 gone, bottom 5. Cone working from the stretch. Here's the first pitch. Swung on and missed by Coloma. Counts 0-1 to him. Runner on first is Harris. Reached via fielder's choice. Weiss is on third. He reached via a walk. 2 gone, bottom 5. Stallions trail 5-2. Aaron Cone set just above the belt. Comes home with the 0-1. That one misses up and away for a ball. It's 1-1.
Crucial to not fall behind by more than this. Team that's had some comebacks throughout the season, but just the way the Stallions have struggled to bring home runs, you don't want to see them get down by 4.
1-1, misses down and in for a ball. Makes the count 2-1 now. 2:59 on the season for Coloma. The center fielder tonight for Oneonta. He's up in the count 2-1 as Aaron Cone battles through this inning here. That one in on the hands, hit out towards center. Shackelford trots in a couple of steps, makes the catch, and that will finally retire the side. 3 runs in the inning for Oneonta on 3 hits. They leave 2 on base. We'll head to the 6th. Stallions have work to do, down 5-2 on the Saugerties Stallions broadcast network. Top 6, Stallions with some work to do, trailing Oneonta 5-2 here from historic Damashki Field in Oneonta, New York. I'm Jake Starr, joined alongside by John Gross. Thanks for joining us on a beautiful Monday evening here in central New York. 4-5-6 due to come to the plate this inning for the Stallions. Cade Verduzco will lead things off. Marcus Cashman back out for another inning of work. Working from the windup, the first pitch. Fouled back off the protective netting behind home plate. Counts 0-1 now to Verduzco.
A surprising start to this game. You look on paper, the Stallions, they're 5-0 this season against Oneonta. This is a team that has ran through the PTCBL East Division with the exception of Amsterdam, but even then just came up with the 4-0 win over the Mohawks. But tonight just we haven't seen their best stuff. It's still time to turn things up a notch as Okamura and Cashman are having a chat, but not a whole lot of time. Ready the 6th inning and you're down by 3 runs.
A surprising mound visit after a first pitch strike from Cashman. Cashman has retired 8 consecutive Stallions. He has struck out 4 so far tonight. As Verduzco goes down to the count, 0-1. Here's the first ball to him. Counts 1-1.
Score update from Jamestown. To the best of our knowledge, it is 5-5 in the 6th. The only place we can find updates is the Niagara Power Twitter account. And their last tweet said 5-5 in the 6th. So we'll keep you posted on that as that game progresses.
Here's the 1-1. That one's hit up in the air. Foul territory, right side. The first baseman, Weiss, settles under it just next to the Stallions dugout. Makes the catch, and Verduzco is retired for the first out of the inning. And a 9th straight Stallion to be sent down by Cashman, and it brings Andrew Wilhite, the 5-hole hitter, to the plate.
And you love to see Saugerties win tonight. Always want to see the Stallions win, but it's a situation where if Saugerties does lose tonight and Jamestown loses, it's irrelevant. The Stallions have that 2 seed. The Stallions just need to win tonight or one of the next 2 games, or have Jamestown lose the rest of the way, 1 game.
Magic number is 1. First pitch to Wilhite, driven high and hard towards right, but right to the right fielder, Keaton Mark, who took maybe 1 step to his right and makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. 10th straight Stallion now sent down by Cashman, and it brings Caden Kendall to the plate, looking to break that streak.
A situation where you want to keep this as close as possible. Try to chase out Cashman, face this bullpen, which has been a weak point of the Outlaws. So far, Cashman's been really good.
First pitch to Kendall's a curveball, drops in there for a called strike, 0-1 the count.
And you'd imagine that after 6 innings or so, 7 innings, they maybe pull Cashman. But keep in mind, go back to the season, first game of the season between these 2 sides. Oneonta's pitcher pitched like 130 pitches or something like that.
Here's the 0-1 to Kendall, outside corner for a called strike. And Cashman's just in his zone right now. Allowed a couple of base runners in the 2nd, 3 in the 1st, 2 runs in the 3rd, but since then, as we said, 10 straight Stallions sent down by him. 0-2's to count the Caden Kendall. Here's the pitch from the windup. That one's fouled back off the netting behind home plate. Count remains 0-2.
And the Stallions did have success against Cashman. It was a while ago, over a month ago, back on June 10th. But in 2 innings, the Stallions scored 3 runs, all earned, had 3 hits, drew 3 walks, did strike out 4 times. But it's not like they're facing Greg Maddox right now, but they're just struggling to get runs to come across.
Count remains 0-2, 2 outs, top 6. Here's the pitch to Kendall. Curveball, nicked him in the elbow, and he's going to be hit by a pitch. So that breaks a streak of 10 straight batters retired by Cashman. And it's a big 2-out base runner for the Stallions, and Max Morris to the plate.
And at the very least, it'll build up the pitch count a little bit for Cashman, make him face another batter. I'm curious to see if Kendall's going to take off. He's quick on the bases, had, 3 stolen bases last night. His first time on base tonight. We'll see if Adam Cray has him moving.
5 for 5 on the season in stolen bases. Max Morris, the catcher at the plate, still 2 down, top 6. First pitch to him. Kendall goes, call is a ball, throw to second, not in time. Caden Kendall swipes second, his 6th stolen base of the year, and right on cue, John. And the count's 1-0 to Morris. Runner on second, 2 down, top 6. 5-2 the score, Oneonta leads.
And tonight, just like last night, every time the Stallions get a runner on first base, pretty much, well, with the exception of Kip Futures, they've been moving.
big spot here for Max Morris, who's been an RBI machine since arriving to Saugerties earlier this month. Cashman checks back at Kendall at second, comes home with a pitch. Fastball just misses outside 2-0. And like we talked about with Zach Byron, Marcus Cashman, really nice late run on that fastball.
It really does. Has nice life to it. And it's been tough for the Stallions to find success against.
Cashman checks back Kendall at second, set at the belt and deals a 2-0. In on the hands, hit out towards right. Ball's carrying well. The right fielder, Mark, backs up to the wall, and he makes the catch just before he hits the wall. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hit. One runner left on base. Right at the bottom half of the sixth. 5-2, Oneonta with the lead. Bottom half of the sixth inning here on the Stallions Broadcast Network, brought to you by the Jolly Cow. The Jolly Cow in Lake Katrine, because everybody loves ice cream. Lyman Institute of the Northeast climbed to a successful career. Main Street Restaurant voted the best Mexican restaurant in the Hudson Valley. Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union, the strikeout sponsor for the Stallions. Mirabella's Restaurant, perfect for friends and family tonight and every night. And Montano's Shoe Store, the best athletes wear the best from Montano's. Bottom half of the sixth inning. Outlaws lead the Stallions 5-2. Jake Starr, John Gross. As Aaron Gone sets and deals. The first pitch in there for a called strike makes the count 0-1. The Yuzuki Okamura, who leads things off 8-9-10. Due up this inning for Oneonta as they look to add on to its lead. Second pitch from Cone. Bounces. Picked by Morris for a ball. Counts 1-1.
Yeah, this has to be a 0 on the board. We've seen another inning where the Stallions offense couldn't really get guys on, couldn't move them around to score. Need some momentum heading into the seventh.
Here's the 1-1. Upstairs for a fastball. Makes the count 2-1 now, as that was a ball. Cone working a bit more quickly this inning than he was back in the bottom of the fifth. Here's a 2-1. That one's hit sharply towards third. Foul, says the home plate umpire. Just foul down the line.
Jake, I want to quickly address something. I see a comment on our stream from Elizabeth Dilt asking what is the black thing on the batter. It's actually a little sign that says, do not, I can't quite read
It's
what
something
it
about
says.
leaning on the fence.
Something about leaning on the netting, yep.
I remember
It's
reading
just
that
a
back
sign.
when the lighting was good enough to read it. Counts 2-2 to Okamura. Here's the pitch from Cone. Curveball misses outside for a ball, runs the count full.
Yeah, so unfortunately that's right in the righty batter's box, but can't move it unfortunately.
3-2 is the count. Here's the pitch from Aaron Cone. That one rolled over towards third. Iverson has it. Steps, throws across the diamond. It's in time for the first out of the inning. And Okamura retired for the third time tonight, and will bring Henry Polinsky to the plate. One down, bottom six. 5-2 the score. Oneonta leads.
Polinsky grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up and was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. But the key is, as it's been for the whole game, eliminate those free 90s. That has been the Achilles heel today for the Stallions. Giving up the free bases, walks hit by pitches between both Byron and Cone. We've seen some command issues. Hopefully For Cone, he's able to attack the zone in this sixth like he did in the first at-bat to Okamura.
Henry Plinsky to the plate. Hits that first one out towards right to Andrew Wilhite. Takes 2 steps in, reaches his glove up and makes the catch for the second out of the inning, and it brings the 10-hole hitter Jacob Hand to the plate. And tonight, Aaron Cone so far has 1 walk on top of 3 from Zach Byron. That's 4. And they each have hit a batter, so that's 6 guys who have reached base tonight, be it either the walk or the hit by pitch. At the same time, the Stallions' offense needs to respond to only 2 runs tonight that all came in the third. Here's the first pitch from Cone. Line right back up the middle, fielded by Brown, ranging towards the second base bag, throws to first. It's in time, and that retires this side and ends the inning. A nice response from Aaron Cone. 3 up, 3 down in the 6th. We will head to the 7th. 5-2 Oneonta the lead on the Stallions Broadcast Network.
As we enter the top of the 7th, the Oneonta Outlaws lead the Saugerties Stallions 5-2 on the Stallions Broadcast Network. Stallions Baseball is brought to you by Nakarado Insurance. Over 50 years, 50 carriers, they've got you covered. PC Smith & Sons Hardware, Smith Hardware on Main Street. Got a project? They can help. Peak Trading, need it lifted up or tied down? Peak Trading has the supplies. Praetorius & Conrad, Civil and Environmental Engineering and Land Surveying. Ridgers Electric, the Stallions Light Synagogue sponsor. When the lights go out, call Ridgers. Rip Van Winkle Country Club, bring your swing to the Rip. And Rips Auto Parts, the Stallions pitcher catcher battery sponsor. Rips, your hometown auto parts store. Albert Jennings leads off for the Stallions, 8-9-10, down 5-2 in the top of the 7th. And Marcus Cashman enters for a 7th inning of work. We don't have a number on his pitch count. They don't have live stats here at Damashki Field, but I'd guess it's probably somewhere in the 80s or 90s as Jennings whiffs on the first offering, a fastball, 0-1.
I mean, Cashman's been dealing tonight. You're at the part of the season now for Oneonta, obviously out of the playoff race, just playing for pride at this point.
Jennings behind 0-1. The 0-1 offering from the righty, the lefty, is just a bit high, 1-1. With a win tonight, or in one of the next 2 games, the Stallions will secure the 2 seed in the postseason. That guarantees a first-round bye, and they'll open up the playoffs with a home semifinal matchup on the 31st. 1-1 delivery from Cashman, down and outside, 2-1. They could get there also with a Jamestown loss. We'll try to give you another Jamestown score update, which has been fairly unreliable tonight, but Trying to do our best. It's still 5-5 in the 7th inning. 2-1 to lefty Jennings. He is again swung through, and that levels the count at 2-2.
I mean, if anything, too, even if Jamestown loses tonight and the Stallions clinch, you know, a game like this is not going to leave a good taste in your mouth. You still want to be playing your best baseball heading into the playoffs, and the Stallions have been pretty inconsistent as of the last week or two. Looking to kind of just string some wins together.
2-2 to Jennings, lifted foul, third base side out of play. And we've seen some up and downs, like you said. I think I'd say the highlight of the last week or so was that 4-0 win over Amsterdam. That really felt like a playoff game. You had the Mercy Rule win last night, but a couple losses to Albany recently. As the 2-2 offering home. Hit to the ground, first base side. Backhand stop by Weiss, the first baseman. He'll race to the bag, step on it, 1 out.
Good at bat there from Jennings. Just couldn't really square that one up, though, from Cashman, who just continues to deal. As we said, he retired 10 in a row before Caden got out, Caden Kendall. But so far he's retired 12 of the last 13 Stallions he has faced. Really just an impressive feat.
Nick Iverson is 0 for 2 tonight, a pair of ground outs to the left side of the infield. Cashman deals, first offering is high, and it really is so important. You know, you obviously want the higher seed, but to some degree, having momentum, being hot, entering the playoffs is almost more important than having a high seed. 1-0 home. Swung on and missed, 1-1.
And statistically, I'll knock on wood here, you know, the Stallions are very likely to get that 2 seed. It's very statistically likely. You know, I don't have all the ESPN metrics, but I'd say it's probably towards 99%. But that's not the matter. You don't want to go 0-3 the rest of the way. Even if Jamestown drops one of their games, you want to get some wins going into the playoffs.
1-1, sent back foul. And it'll bounce out of the ballpark. Jake, we're still waiting for that ball to come our way. We've gotten close.
I don't know how these kids haven't learned yet. They know the ball is going to go over the fence, but they still chase it every time. The minute you see the ball in the air, just start running for the other side. That's chess, not checkers right there. And one of these kids is eventually going to figure that out.
The 1-2 is down to the dirt, blocked by Gamora, 2-2. Jake, we might have to go give them a little bit of an instruction. Are you like one of those foul ball experts? Like, you know where to sit in a ballpark?
I mean, in my life, I have received 3 baseballs through games. I've gotten 1 from a bullpen catcher, 1 in batting practice. I was flipped up by an outfielder, and I'll tell the last story in a second.
The 2-2 to Iverson, high fastball, and the count's now full.
I think it was like 15 or 16. There was a foul ball hit in my section. I went after it, I dove, didn't get it. The guy in front of me got it, scraped up my knee really badly, which I tended to do. Not the first time I scraped my knee trying to get a foul ball, but the guy very graciously was like, you put a lot of effort into that one. It fell into my lap. Here you go. But then we got him some water ice afterwards to thank him.
You mean Italian ice?
Water ice.
Full count. Iverson lined into left center field, and that is the 6th hit of the game for the Stallions. Nick Iverson reaches. He is now 1 for 3 tonight.
The first hit by a Stallion since Andrew Wilhite back with 1 out in the 3rd. That was 14 batters between those 2 hits for the Stallions.
Brings up Jarrett Brown, who was 0 for 1. He did walk back in the 2nd before grounding out in the 4th.
Now that he finally broke through and got a hit, this is where you got to take advantage. You have to get runs this inning. Don't have to tie it up, but at least find a way to chip away.
Iverson leads off at first. We'll see if the trend continues of the Stallions sending everybody who's reached first. They've been successful on all attempts as well. And Cashman is going to flip back to first. Iverson head first safely.
Iverson, one of the more quick guys on the Stallions team, so possibly would expect to see him steal here, but also down 3. Might see third base coach Adam Cray play it safe.
No Jack Renwick in the lineup. Renwick, the fastest guy in the Stallions, also leads the team in stolen bags. Cashman sets to the first pitch. No takeoff from Iverson. It's a high ball 1. 5-2 Outlaws, top of the 7th. Iverson after the single. Stretches his lead at first. The righty Cashman comes set of the belt. Now throws back to first, and Iverson is out. A successful pickoff attempt. Stallions getting maybe a little too greedy on the base paths. And a valuable base runner is out for the 2nd out.
Not ideal. Base runners, as we know, John, have been at the premium these last couple of innings, and you just had one picked off there. You got to be smart, and you'll probably see the Stallions get a bit more conservative on the base pass if they can get guys on the rest of the way.
1-0 to Jarrett Brown. And Cashman's going to step off. Has pitched a gem so far. Just 2 runs allowed. Came back in the third. 1-0 upstairs for ball 2. Five runs on 6 hits for the Outlaws, 2 runs on 6 hits for the Stallions. The 2-0 home misses down and out for ball 3. And out Brown a ball away from reaching via walk.
Brown can get on here or just show that Iverson pickoff even more costly, because then you would have had a guy in scoring position with less than 2 outs.
3-0 is just in top of the zone for a strike. 3-1 now the count.
Probably would say.
Yeah. Seemed up a bit, but
3-0, the zone usually expands just a little bit.
still a hitter's count, 3-1. The pitch home. Misses low, and take your base, Jarrett Brown.
Can I say something, John?
No.
Well, I'm going to do it anyway. The home plate umpire, every time a guy walks today, always points towards first. And there have been multiple times tonight where I thought to myself, why are they appealing the first? He didn't even swing the bat. And it's had me confused a couple of times. I like it. I don't dislike it, but it can be very confusing.
I appreciate it, for sure. And that is it for Marcus Cashman. Gets a well-deserved round of applause. 6 2/3 innings of work, gives up just 2 runs so far to his name. Still, the base runner is his responsibility, and 6 hits. Will give you his final line after this. A pitching change for the Outlaws. Stallions down 5-2, 2 outs, top of the 7th of the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. Bottom 7, a pitching change. The day is done for Marcus Cashman. Can't quite close out his line, but went 6 2/3, 6 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Still waiting for the final run tally. And Cole Fancher takes them out.
Cole Fancher making his 7th appearance, has started a game. 0-1, a 5.02 ERA. Does have a save. Could technically get himself a 7-out save. 14 1/3 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 9 walks, 16 hits. given up by Fancher so far this season for Oneonta.
David Shackelford to the plate is 0 for 3 tonight. 2 outs. Jared Brown on first. 5-2 Outlaws. A surprising first 6 2/3 innings so far, as the first pitch is lifted foul out of play first base side.
They were ready this time. They were beyond the fence this time.
They must have heard you, Jake.
They must have.
Be tuned into the broadcast.
I mean, I'm pretty loud, too, so they can probably hear me. I like to project.
Brown inches off at first. Pretty minimal lead after Iverson was picked off earlier this inning, but that was by the starter, Cashman. A 1 delivery to the righty, Shackelford from the righty, Fancher. Broken bat, lined directly to the third baseman, Carson Swank. And zeros on the board once again for the Stallions. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. When we get back, we'll be joined by a very special guest as we head to the bottom of the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on base. 5-2 Outlaws of the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 7th, Paul Tamero leads off for the Outlaws. It is 5-2 Oneonta, and a ball is still on the field down the right field side from the Stallions bullpen.
Just had all the kids chase after that one.
I know, right? That would have been pretty awesome. So Tamero leads off. He is 2 for 2 tonight, has reached in all 3 plate appearances, also walked in his first appearance, or first at bat. First off from Camaro Cone is high and inside. Our special guest is Kevin Sully Sullivan, the only man in this ballpark besides us and the Stallions players wearing Stallions gear. Sully, thanks for joining us.
Hey, you're welcome. It's a great opportunity for me to come out to a ball game. I love the Stallions. I want to thank Renee and Kevin Hinchy.
1-0 from Cone, misses upstairs. So what is your connection to the Stallions?
Well, I know Renee and Kevin pretty well as what I'd call good friends. And Kevin supported the first responders last week at the Saugerties Stadium.
2-0 hit deep to left field. Backtracking is Jennings, just shy of the wall, makes the catch, 1 out. Brings up Carson Swank. So back to the first responders night, because you were there, right?
Yeah, I was, and I sat with Kevin's cousin, Senator Hinchy, Michelle, and it was a really great time. I got treated pretty well in the grandstands right behind home plate, and I drove.
Swank
that's a driver.
Lines
too.
it into center, and it's caught by Shackelford, 2 outs. Brings up Bradley Hall.
Kevin called me his lucky charms because they took that game in the 12-run rule.
Yep.
And I got to go home early. It took me an hour and a half to get to that game, and I'd like to see more of their fans get out. They got a good team here, good young men playing ball is where it's at for me.
2 outs for Riley Hall. His first pitch is taken for strike. So you brought the good luck to the game a couple nights ago. Try to change up the mojo tonight. Some different
I don't live very far. I live over in Delhi, New York, and
A 1 is high and out, 1-1.
I actually saw Mattingly play here, and it's good to see Kevin got somebody on his team in 2018 team make it to the big leagues, and hopefully some of these young fellows will too in the future. Got a lot of talent out there.
1-1 in there for a strike, a 1-2 count, 2 outs. Aaron Cohen looking to orchestrate a 1-2-3 inning as he's up 1-2 on Riley Hall. 5-2 Stallions trail, bottom of the 7th. Cohen looks home, comes through the windup, kicks and deals. That ball poked out to left center field. On the move, a sliding catch unsuccessful by Jennings. And that should be scored as a hit. Were you a ball player?
Only in Little League. I never really played in Babe Ruth or high school. I was a soccer player actually in high school. Until I blew my knee out that I'm finally getting a knee replacement for. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah. We played a lot of sandlot, but never organized ball.
Ryan Weiss now to the plate with 2 outs. First pitch home, curveball, line to right field. Back-to-back pitches, back-to-back singles for the Outlaws. Puts runners on first and second with 2 outs in the 7th. So you said you live up here, you're from?
I'm originally from Kingston.
From Kingston.
So I have a lot of ties, family in Saugerties. A lot of nephews and nieces, and brother-in-law, and my deceased sister and brother.
So you know that Saugerties area very well as Keaton Mark digs in. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Back-to-back base hits that have brought home a combined 3 runs. First pitch from Cone is lined into center, and this could be another run. Heading home is Riley Hall, and he will score. An RBI single makes it 6-2 Outlaws in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs. Now, you did say to me before this half inning that every time you've left your seat tonight, Oneonta
get scores. So I want to get back to my seat as soon as I can. There's still some time left in the game. No, all kidding aside, it's been a good game. They're both playing pretty well, really. It's not a runaway so far. There's time. So,
couple innings left for the Stallions to make up this deficit. It is 6-2 Outlaws. First pitch upstairs to Brendan Harris after the RBI single by Keaton Mark. So again, from the Saugerties area, from Kingston, what does it mean to have high-level baseball like this in that area?
Oh, I think for Saugerties and Kingston, it's just phenomenal. Kevin and Renee have brought something to baseball that's I think been lost in the past. It's just been sandlot. With the field quality that they have there is just. I go there. It's like being in a professional ball field. And I've only been to a few major league games in my life, and it was just the feeling there. I get goosebumps right now. Looking at Neowat changing here and Damaski Field's improving by the day. I think they're planning a new grandstand where we're standing now, and it's. I love the game. I love to watch. I know the athletics. I love the amateurs more than I love the professional teams. Really, to tell you the truth. But they got to start somewhere, and if they get this kind of base, somewhere around in a local area, in a local setting, and. I'm surprised Damaski Field doesn't have more fans in their stands, and I know that Saugerties is slowly building their fan base, and as the playoffs come up, which I know you'll be talking about that. It's early yet. How many more games do we have in the season?
2 more in the regular season, then playoffs.
This is a big game here, and I heard you talking about seeding and whatnot, the seeds. I liked what you said that you don't have to be top seed, or you said you don't have to be top seed going in. You can be in the middle somewhere and play those teams.
Well, yeah, as you said, playoffs just around the corner. The Stallions still awaiting their final seeding. With a win tonight, they'll get a first-round bye and be the 2 seed. Well, I'll let you get back to your seat, and hopefully that'll bring us some good luck. But thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks for supporting the Stallions up here in Oneonta.
Kevin and Renee and the Stallions organization.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Back after this, top of the 8th on the Stallions Broadcast Network. Top of the 8th, Saugerties down 6-2, trying to mount a late game rally. Noah Berghammer will lead off. John Gross and Jake Starr from Damashki Field in Oneonta, New York. As Cole Fancher stares down Berghammer. 2-3-4 due up for Saugerties. Down by 4. First pitch spins into the zone. 0-1.
We said Fancher relieved Marcus Cashman, who went 6 2/3, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs. Both were earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. At one point retired 10 straight Stallions. An impressive outing from him tonight in line for the win.
A 1 to Berghammer, who is 1 for 3 with a single and 2 strikeouts. Misses down and out, 1-1. Well, a good spot, Jake, to be in if you're the Stallions trying to come back. It's the 8th inning. You don't need everything here, but you love to get some. You have Berghammer, Futures, and Verduzco due up.
Got 2, 3, 4 coming up. Big opportunity here. You got to get something this inning, John.
Got leveled at 1 apiece. Fancher rocks and fires on the 1-1. Skied foul, right field side. 1-2 now.
There goes the convoy of children. Looking to get that foul ball.
Berghammer steps out behind 1 and 2. 6-2 Outlaws, top of the 8th. Fancher works through his delivery and misses in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Stallions scored 2 runs in the 3rd. And Jake, at that point of the game, it seemed like things were starting to get going. You got the sense, as we've seen from the Stallions against teams like Oneonta and Glens Falls, they were going to turn things up a notch and roll, but has not been the case so far.
Yeah, the offense has kind of just been lulled to sleep tonight by Cashman.
2-2 home. Chopper up the middle. Berghammer hustles over to first. A sliding play by Tamaro makes the throw onto first base for out number 1.
It hasn't been the strikeouts. Only 4 strikeouts tonight combined for Oneonta pitching. It's just been so many ground balls, so many weak fly balls. The Stallions just unable to square things up. And, I mean, a lot of that credit goes to Cashman. We talked to how well he was just nibbling right on the edge of the plate. He wasn't putting anything over the heart of the plate, and I think that's a big reason why the Stallions have struggled tonight.
1 down. Kip Futures is 1 for 3. An RBI double back in the 3rd. He takes the first pitch well inside, spins away from 1. 1-0 count.
Got 5 outs to work with here. Every at-bat, so important.
1-0 from the righty Fancher to the righty Futures. Inside out at right field side, and it bounces out of play, and that levels the count 1-1. The Stallions are on the road again tomorrow, back at Glens Falls. An off day the next day, followed by the final regular season game. That's a home game. If they play the next day or the day after that in the playoffs, that's still up in the air. But with the win tonight, the Stallions will get a first-round bye and will make their playoff debut on the 31st. 1-1, sent back, and maybe about 15 feet down on the netting from the top. And if that was a little higher, that was right to me, Jake.
I don't know, John. The trajectory of that has it back at that red house back there.
I might have had to let you do the play-by-play for the rest of that pop-up, and I would have ran and got
Yeah, make sure you take the headset off before you start running. I don't want to drag our entire mixture with you.
1-2-1. Futures comes way inside, and that just hit him. He'll saunter down to first. Flips his bat into the dugout in frustration. And he reaches for the 2nd time tonight.
No ill will there. Fancher's been trying to pitch Futures inside, trying to bury a couple pitches on the hands. He's been going inside. That time just missed a little bit too much, but you're the Stallions here. You have to take advantage of a runner on first now.
Jake, you have actually a shout out. Your biggest fan just commented, some guy named Michael Gross.
I wonder who that guy is.
Said, Jake Starm, your biggest fan, hashtag roll ponies.
Wonder who that guy might be.
Shout out to Michael, who was...
It's got a weird last name. I don't know if you are familiar with it.
No. Gator Verduzco at the plate. Takes a pitch down and inside for a ball. Stallions down 6-2, top of the 8th. In the midst of a 4-game road stand with the New York State American Legion Championships at Cantine, which is where Michael was today. The 1-0 to Verduzco, misses upstairs 2-0.
I'll be there tomorrow with Michael. So you and Dylan McGlynn will be on the call from Glens Falls. That rhymed.
Begin the call from Glens Falls.
The call from Glens Falls.
Second time you've rhymed something on the broadcast this year. What was it? A couple weeks ago you said something.
It was the other night. I forget what it was, but it was clever.
2-0 to Verduzco. On the ground, first base side. Weiss taps the bag. He throws on to second. Tag applied to Futures. And the double play is in order. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Stallions again held off the board. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We'll have a report from our sideline reporter Shannon Bonowit after this quick break on the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 8th, let's quickly send things to Shannon Bonowit with an update. Shannon?
Thank you, John. The problem for the Stallions offense tonight is not being able to string hits together in a row. We do have 6 hits on the night, but we've stranded a lot of runners at first, and we just can't get that runner to scoring position to bring them around. For the Outlaws, on the other hand, what's worked for them tonight is back-to-back hits, driving in runs, which they've capitalized on, putting up 6 runs to our 2 runs on the board. We do have one more shot in the top of the 9th. Hopefully we can string a few together and come out with a win.
Thank you, Shannon. As we head to the bottom of the 8th, the Stallions in a 4-run hole in Leo Bustos, the righty out of St. Thomas. Heads in, gets it past the bat of Keone Coloma, making his second, Bustos making his second appearance of the season, a 4.50 ERA in 2 innings of pitching. A 1, fouled third base side, 0-2.
You need Bustos to give you a clean inning here. Don't want to go any deeper into the bullpen, knowing how thin the Stallions are pitching-wise.
Quickly ahead 0-2 on Coloma. Bottom portion of this lineup due up. The 0-2 misses low, but it swung on and missed. Throw down from Morris is in time. A Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union strikeout for Leo Bustos.
Well, Bustos doing exactly what he's got to do. Coming in, gets the first out. Got to get a couple more outs, and then the offense has got to go to work. And We said obviously top of the lineup couldn't get the job done, so it's going to be 5, 6, 7 in this. The bottom half guys, they're going to have to do the job tonight if the Stallions want to come back.
So one away after the nice strikeout by Bustos brings up Yuzuki Okamura. 0 for 3 on the evening. Appealed on to first, unsuccessful. It's taking for a ball.
So I don't know if that's ball 4, if that's an appeal, because that's what the umpire does every time there's a ball 4.
There you go. 1-0 is whiffed at 1-1. I appreciate it though. I like when umpires are demonstrative, whether it's about their
Especially
strike
with
call,
ball calls.
Ball calls, yes. It makes everyone's job easier. Eliminates any sort of confusion as Bustos steals and the 1-1 misses outside. I think it's been a very good umpiring crew. We've had no issues tonight, and which is always good. The less you talk about the umpires means they're doing a better job. 2-1 finds the zone outside corner. 2-2.
It's been a good crew tonight. It's been a consistent crew. The strike zone might be a little wider than we've seen, but it's been that way for both teams, so I have no issue with it. Go John, go John, go John.
Back, and that's launched way into the parking lot.
And again, I think that's a car alarm, but it's not.
No. It sounds realistic. It's not loud. It's not like too loud that you can tell it's from the stadium. As the 2-2 just misses outside in a slider. Now the count's full from Bustos, who only the second batter he's faced, but he's had some nice stuff.
Oh, really nice stuff, and it's going to be another arm the Stallions are going to need to rely on down the stretch.
Full count offering from Bustos. Pop back over our heads, and it is again into the parking lot where there are already a whole bunch of kids.
See, now they're getting it down. Now they know where to be.
Now they're not even in the stadium. They're just all hanging out outside.
The next step is putting some in the stands.
Full count, fouled backwards. I would love if we could hook up like a wireless microphone and you and I were just running around the stadium calling the game while trying to track down a foul ball. And whoever gets a foul ball first wins. 3-2 from Bustos. Up and out. There's the point down to first. Okamura battles back to work a walk.
We have a wireless microphone back at the field that we use for our on-field stuff. We should have earlier in the year, because obviously now they're using it for the Legion tour, and we could have brought it, hooked it up to our mixer, and, just add a sideline person who would just be on foul ball duty the entire time.
Be pretty out of breath by the third inning, just really struggling to call a game and run around while trying to
Here's the 0-1. Takes a deep breath. Exhale.
Henry Polinsky is 0 for 2 tonight. Did reach on a hit by pitch. A very small lead by Okamura at first. That ball yanked down the right field line. It is foul.
Just foul.
Fortunately for the Stallions, that would have been a surefire run.
You got to keep it at 4. Score 6-2 right now, Oneonta, because obviously 4 is always that number. One swing of the bat, you can come back with. Anything more than that, you got to do a little bit more work.
Bustos up 0-1. With 1 out, bottom 8. 6-2 Outlaws. A shocking lead late in this game. A 1 misses down and outside. With a win tonight, the Stallions will clinch a first-round bye, have a home playoff game for the semifinals. They've already clinched a home playoff game. The question is, will it be first round or second round? 1-1. Put in the air to left field. Jennings racing back. Settles underneath it. Hauls it in. 2 outs.
Another hard hit ball by Polinsky again, just by Oneonta as a whole. They've hit a bunch hard tonight. And Jennings able to make the catch there. 1 more out. And Bustos, hasn't, he's missed the zone a couple of times, but for the most part he's been around it. But I really like the action he has on his breaking pitches, John. They really do move pretty well.
Score update from the Jamestown game. They're tied at 5 through 8 innings. They're at the top of the 9th. It is 5-5. Still 2 down. Jacob Hand at the plate. Takes a strike outside corner. Hand is 1 for 2, and Hand was hit in the foot earlier in the game. A 1. High fly ball, right center field. Wilhite, no, it's caught by Shackelford. Sprinting hard to his left. And that wraps up the bottom of the 8th, so we head to the top of the 9th. One final chance for Saugerties. Fans, I'm asking all of you, get your rally caps on. Send us some positive vibes in the chat. Let's see if we could work our magic and get the Stallions in the win column and get that first round bye. Top 9 after this, 6-2 Outlaws on the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. Top of the last, one final chance for Saugerties. They are down 6-2. Stallions baseball is brought to you by the Saugerties Athletic Association, where having fun is what matters. Sawyer Chevrolet and Sawyer Motors. Stella Artois, distributed by Dutchess Beer Distributors. Grab an ice cold Stella at the Stallions Watering Trough. Steyer's, celebrating over 50 years of keeping you on the road. It's Uncommon, a solar company with a purpose beyond profit. The Computer Guys, don't get robbed by the other guys. Call the Computer Guys. The Emerson Resort, treat yourself to a getaway at the Emerson. Ulster Federal Credit Union, get rewarded with Ulster Federal Credit Union. And Ulster Savings, celebrating 170 years. The 170 acts of kindness. Pitching change as Stephen Tejada, the righty, enters for the Outlaws.
Stephen Tejadas making his 6th appearance of the year. 9 innings pitch, a 5.0 ERA, 6 strikeouts, 4 walks, 11 hits giving up. No saves. This also not a save opportunity. Obviously can't pitch into one either.
Oh, the Stallions are down to their final 3 outs. Would be quite the comeback. It wouldn't totally be unprecedented, though. We've seen this team rally late in games. The one that comes to mind, despite it being a loss, they were down by 6 runs with actually 2 outs in the 9th. Ended up scoring 5 runs to make it a 1-run loss to the Dragons. Still a difficult situation, but this is a team that can do something like this.
Hopefully a new pitcher helps. Fancher looked good also following Cash and went an inning and a third. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts either.
But Jake, it's really going to have to start with Andrew Wilhite, a guy who has reached base twice tonight. His first game since July 21st after being out of town for a few days. If he can reach, put a little bit of pressure on the Outlaws, maybe some good things could happen for the Stallions. But as Shannon mentioned in the middle of the 8th inning, the issue tonight for Saugerties hasn't necessarily been getting guys out. They have 6 hits, they've drawn some walks, a couple of hit by pitches. It's been stringing together consecutive hits.
Yeah, that's been the key. I mean, Stallions only have 1 hit since the 3rd inning. That was a single by Nick Iverson in the 7th where he was then promptly picked off. So, as I said, bottom half of the lineup has to go to work here, and it starts with Andrew Wilhite.
And just 1 inning with multiple hits, and it's no coincidence that that was the 3rd inning where the Stallions scored both runs. So Andrew Wilhite will get us started against Tejadas. The righty will grab some dirt. Now, hang on to the baseball, righty to lefty. As Wilhite digs in, first pitch. Check swing, it's a called strike 1. 0-1.
Nice slide action on that pitch from Tejadas. Wilhite didn't really know what to do with it. If he swung it, it probably would have just buckled him in on the hands.
A 1 count on Wilhite, getting Kendall on deck. Takes the pitch on the inside corner. And nice sinking motion, 0-2.
Yeah, it's a mix of a sinker, a cutter, not enough to be a slider. Looking like Mariano Rivera out there with that cutter.
It's Kendall followed by Morris in the hole. 0-2 quickly on Wilhite. Takes just a bit up, 1-2.
I'm enjoying, we talked about our vantage point and how it gives us a nice view of the pitch. I'm enjoying watching the movement on these pitches. And it's probably tough there on Wilhite and all the batters for the Stallions to kind of go against it.
1-2 misses outside, 2-2. An update from Jamestown, New York. The Tarp Skunks head to the bottom of the 9th. It is a 5-5 game still. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Andrew Wilhite. No out, top 9. 6-2 Stallions trail. The pitch from Tejadas. This is away, and after getting down 0-2, it's now a full count.
Zone's got a little bit tighter here to Wilhite. If you're a Stallions fan, it's what you like to see.
A rally cap comment from Dion Gaudier, LFC. Stallions trying to rally late. Wilhite fouls it away to stay alive.
Tejada's not throwing necessarily hard, but it's a lot of movement on his fastball. A lot of movement.
Full count to Will Height, who starts off this top of the ninth. He'll dig back into the box. The 3-2 from Tejada's. High fly ball coming backwards towards us. If it comes out of play, it'll stay in play, and it drops away from the catcher Okamura. And Jake Starr just threw off his headset. If you heard a banging noise, that was it. He threw off his headset to go try to run and get the ball, but it did stay in play.
I'm like a catcher. He's off with the mask, I'm off with the headset. That's what we talked about. We said, whoever's doing color, if the ball's hit towards us, you got to get up and get it.
Oh, man. It did stay in the field of play, but most importantly for the Stallions, it was not caught. It dropped. The count remains full. Tejadas looks home on the lefty, Will Height, trying to start off this ninth with the base runner, and he won't. A swinging strike 3. 1 out.
Good at bat there by Will Height with just that fastball, way too much movement. It's really hard to really see it, so we'll see if Kendall can adjust to it. But I think, am I the only member of our media team to have gotten a foul ball this year?
I caught a ball that was off of a hit batter, or a ball rolled to me that was off of a hit batter.
All right, that's fair.
If that counts. Caden Kendall is 0 for 2 tonight, did reach on a hit by pitch in his last snap bat. Watches a pitch slide outside. 1-0, had a stellar performance last night, 3 for 3, 3 RBI. And was recognized by the PJCBL for his performance. 1-0 drops into the zone on the ground to short. Tamaro, a scoop and toss in time for the second out. And Saugerties now just 1 out away from a really tough defeat.
Just the perfect trio of pitchers tonight for Oneonta if they're able to pull out the win here. Tejada's just really mixing it up here. Lots of movement. All the pitchers really had a lot of movement, but Tejada's definitely the most movement on his fastball.
Max Morris, final chance for Saugerties. Watches a pitch spin low from Tejada's, who really does have great life in that breaking ball. Crowd has mostly trickled out. Outlaws up 6-2. Fastball down and away, 2-0. 2-0 from Tejada's. Thinking at the knees for a strike, and you figure now he's a hitter.
That's a tough pitch because it starts, looks like it's going outside, and then it bites back, you know, with those seams, it comes back nicely.
2-1, misses up and in for ball 3. Albert Jennings on deck, followed by Nick Iverson. Saugerties down to its final out. The 3-1 to Morris, outside and down, he'll head off to first. So you're saying there's a chance?
There's life. I highly doubt we're going to see Max Morris run. He's not stolen a base this season, and there's really no reason to because you need more than 1 run. Gonna need more hits anyway.
But if a comeback's gonna start, it has to start somewhere. They do have a base runner for Albert Jennings. 1 for 3 tonight. Started this game off with a single. Jennings, a deep fly to right field. And that is a fair ball, extra bases. He's around first, headed to second. Morris being waved around third, and now he's going to be held up as Jennings retreats to second. A 2-out double by Albert Jennings, hops off the fence. And the Stallions have 2 in scoring position with 2 outs in the 9th.
Well, the chances continue. Got to keep the line rolling here. Bottom of the lineup doing work with 2 outs. Now it's up to Nick Iverson. He did single his last time up, so making a mound visit here? Let's see.
No.
Nope.
Doesn't look like it. They're just going to shift this infield a bit. First pitch to Iverson, hit into left field. Morris is going to score, and Jennings will hold up at third. So the Stallions now trail by just 3 back-to-back hits. And Jake, the bottom of this lineup is producing in a huge situation.
How about that? Nice RBI single there from Nick Iverson. Nice hit from number 1010 right there. And now Jarrett Brown got to continue it. Nice, good work Adam Cray at third base, holding up Jennings at third. No reason to even bother sending him home because you still need more hits. But now you got the tying run at the plate.
And the top of the order on deck. 2 outs for Jarrett Brown. He's reached base twice with a walk. First and third for the Stallions. Brown pops it back. And it's over our heads again out of the stadium. And that ball's rolling, rolling, and rolling. That might go onto the train tracks.
Please don't run into the train tracks. Please don't run into the train tracks.
6-3 Outlaws, 2 outs and 0-1 count on Jarrett Brown. And the top of the ninth, the 0-1 delivery is up and out, 1-1.
Good spot, just a little up and away from Tejadas. Brown trying to work himself a good at bat here. 0 for 1 tonight with a couple of walks.
1-1 to Brown. Pitch breaks in the zone, taps it back foul. And the Stallions are down to their final strike. In a game that could deliver them a first-round bye. Still a couple more games to do so. They'd love to get that out of the way tonight. Brown behind 1 and 2 with 2 outs, runners in the corners. Brown the tying run of the plate of the ninth. Stallions down by 3. The 1-2 home, put in the air, right field. On the move is Mark towards the foul line, and he makes the catch. And the Stallions, a shocking loss in Oneonta. 6-3 the final as the Stallions go down to the Outlaws for their 13th win of the season. Saugerties drops to 26-12. Jake, as we come off a couple of maybe the best wins of the season for the Stallions, 4-0 win against Amsterdam, a mercy rule win last night against Glens Falls. One of the tougher and certainly more surprising losses tonight against the Outlaws.
That's what's been so interesting about this team. They beat Amsterdam, have a couple of mercy rule wins. And you dropped that game to Albany last week. You dropped this game tonight. So it's just been 2 different teams that we've seen, you know, from the Stallions this last week or so. So gotta hope the last 2 games that better Saugerties teams comes out and gets some momentum heading into the playoffs.
And Jamestown just walked it off. So the Stallions are unable to clinch the first round bye tonight, but another great opportunity tomorrow night against Glens Falls, who the Stallions just mercy ruled. If the Stallions cannot win that game, they have an off day and then another game at home against this very Outlaw team to get the clinch as well. Hoping for maybe a Jamestown loss in there too. That either way.
Magic number
is 1. However they get there, doesn't matter. 1 game, that's all that matters. 6-3 the final score. Oneonta takes down the Stallions for the first time this season. That'll do it for our broadcast tonight. For our sideline reporter, Shannon Bonowit, my broadcast partner, Jake Starr. I'm John Gross. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Signing off from Damashki Fields. Stallions fall 6-3 in the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network.